It appears that we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. It has already been 1 month since I last uploaded the Hangouts, so one is overdue. And this will be a rather weird one because we apparently... Oh, shit, I can hear myself. I'm really professional today. I didn't mute the live stream. What did I say? Yeah, we're not going to invite a flat earther today, unfortunately. I mean, two actually are invited, but I doubt they will show up. That would be Nathan and Ranty. But instead, we're going to take a look at the video that Nathan actually uploaded on his channel, which is about some video that Ranty took on the coast of England. And there are some really gross mistakes in there, so yeah, that will be fun. I do have to say, though, that Ranty and Nathan already uploaded correction videos regarding that Hangout just a few hours ago. I haven't seen those two until like 30 minutes ago. But we're going to debunk the first video anyways, because I'm just going to show how quick they jump to conclusions and how little research is actually necessary to debunk their stuff. And with me, I have the Rumpus. Hello.
Hello, Gio. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. And you?
I'm feeling a little bit delicate. I've got a bit of a migraine, so if I say something stupid or any more stupid than usual, just please make allowances.
No problem. Anyways, since we are going to talk about Ranty, you will appear like a genius anyways.
Yes, it won't be difficult. God, that guy's an idiot.
Okay, so since I'm going to play a video now, unfortunately, Rumpus, I already told you you will have to mute because I will use my headphones to plug the audio from that video coming through to YouTube.
That's fine, Alex. Let's go ahead.
So we're going to jump to this anyway. So let me share my screen. So this video was uploaded yesterday as a live stream on Nathan Oakley's channel. And we're going to jump right into it at the point where Ranty starts with, which was pretty much at the 1 minute mark. So 1 minute? Heck. Yeah, 1 minute. All right, so let's go.
Proofs aplenty on Ranty's SD card. So first I'll give a quick introduction. So how you doing, Ranty? Good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to be here as well.
Excellent. So I've got your sandy beach up. So start by telling me what you told me about your tripod positioning for this particular observation. I think that's a pretty good place to start.
Well, at the moment, I think the tripod is probably set to about 4 feet. I'm actually at the side of, I'll show you on Google Earth, actually. It's St. Anne's Pier. So when I scroll into St. Anne's, you'll see that they have a pier here. It's different, obviously, to Blackpool, which has 3 north, south, and central. This is south along the coast towards St. Anne's, and it has its own pier. And I did an observation from this location looking north, and then I did an observation from this location looking southwest. And I think it was only the fifth video that I ever did. It's titled DSCN 0005. So it was a very early one, and it was a very crappy tripod that I had. It was only a plastic thing. And I think the total height of it would have gone to about 5 feet, and at its minimum it would have gone to around about 1.5 feet. And you actually see me lowering it to the smallest point in this video. So what I do, I'll play the video. So here I am. So you'll have to excuse the photography because it's not that great, but you've seen that I've lowered the tripod to its lowest point. I'm actually on my hands and knees now, looking through the viewfinder. There's the pier for St. Anne's. I level the camera and I just zoom in and see what I can see.
All right, let's stop right there. So as you can see, he zoomed into the image using his camera. The position, we just showed this on Google Earth. That is right here, as you pointed out, in St. Anne's. And you can see the pier is here. And his position is right around here. It's not really important where he is. Those few meters of difference won't make any won't make any difference regarding the analysis of the video.
So if I stop, I'll just go back a tiny bit actually. If I stop the camera now, what we have is 1, 2, 3 easily identifiable. What they look like little bonfires. What they're actually are met masts. If I go to the offshore wind farm, you'll see that there's a met mast here, which is shaped like so. Met mast here, and the met mast there.
All right, let's stop again. So those 3 apparent met masts that he's pointing out. I don't know if you know this, but in Google Earth, you can use pretty much any picture you want and overlay it over the landscape. So if you have specialized maps, high profile maps, geological maps, anything, you can just overlay it in Google Earth, which is pretty awesome. And that's what I did with data from 4coffshore.com, which is an online database for offshore wind farms, which is actually pretty awesome. I dare you to check it out. And as you can see, here are the 3 met masts. One here in this wind farm, Gwyn Timor. This one in North Hoyle, and this one also in North Hoyle. So these are the 3 points that he's claiming are visible from St. Anne's. Let's continue.
3 met masts in this location. Going back to the video, so we have met mast 1, 2, and 3.
All right, stop again. When we go back to Google Earth, we can see that 2 of the met masts would actually, if those were the met masts here and here, those would be blocked by this other wind farm called Berber Bank Extension. So we would have to have a set of turbines in the foreground compared to these met masts. The video, according to Ranty, was taken in April of 2017. And this wind farm here, Berber Bank Extension, which is this part of the wind farm, the other part over here is called Berber Bank. The new part, Berber Bank Extension, was actually built in 2016, late 2016. So if the video was made when he says it was made, it's impossible that those 2 met masts are visible without a wind farm in the foreground.
And they are further away than this platform here. And this platform is part of the Douglas complex. And it's actually...
All right, the Douglas complex. As you can see, the Douglas complex is a set of 3 oil rigs. You can see them here in the picture. I'll go to another picture later. And those 3 are connected by those 2 bridges, and they're actually not mobile. You can't move them around or anything, so they have a fixed position. The coordinates are given. When you go to them, they are shown here on this side, Douglas complex.
Called the Lennox platform. This is what...
All right. But now he went to another platform called Lennox. It's important to know the difference between the 2. Lennox platform and the Douglas complex are not the same platform. They're at different locations, and this is going to be important in a few minutes.
The Lennox platform looks like.
All right. So he correctly identifies what he's finding in the video as the Lennox platform. This has the right shape, and it's approximately where we expect it to be.
As you can see, it's very distinguishable. It's just off Southport's coast.
And he's also correctly claiming that it's off the shoreline of Southport.
And when I show you the GPS on it, which are here, the coordinates, if you look at it on Wikipedia, you've got the GPS coordinates for this platform.
And right here, he's mixing up the GPS coordinates of the Douglas complex and the GPS coordinates of the Lennox platform. This is why he's mixing up all the different posts and all the different landmarks in the video.
And what it does is it takes you to this location on Google Earth.
All right, so let's go to Google Earth. I marked the position of Wikipedia. This is where the Douglas complex is. And the position of the Lennox platform was actually a little bit harder to find. I had only one source that showed it, or that gave the direct GPS coordinates. But I found a website from, let me just show the website. I got it somewhere. I think it might have been this one. Yeah, there we go. So this is an article about the oil and gas rigs in the Liverpool Bay. And what's actually possible is to take this picture and overlay it in Google Earth again. And I know this is a little inaccurate and obviously not to scale, but you can see the coastlines fit perfectly. And the Lennox platform is where it is expected. So yeah, this drawing here is showing the Douglas complex at the right position and the Lennox platform at the right position.
Which is here, this exact spot here. So when I do the curvature calcs on this particular, I think it's that one. No, it's not that one. That one. There we go. So let's do the curvature calcs. Well, the properties on that.
All right, he's showing the distance to the Douglas complex at approximately 26.6 miles. Let me just show this. I'm just gonna eyeball it. There's no need to be exact in this position. It's 42 kilometers or 26.5 miles. Problem is though that, well, you'll see. Let's continue.
Measurement's 26.6 miles. So it's 26.6 miles to see that platform from St. Anne's Beach here next to the pier.
And again, he's already mixing up the Lennox platform and the Douglas complex.
And if I play the video, you'll see when I move it.
So again, those three masts are as yet unidentified because the positions that Ranty claimed they would be are impossible. And he's claiming this here would be the Douglas complex while it is the Lennox platform.
That we actually see all of that platform.
All right, stop again. Let me just go back a little bit.
That platform.
Stop. I think this is a great shot. Nice. So as you can see, we have the platform right here, which is Lennox platform, but he thinks apparently that it's the Douglas complex. There's another reason why it's impossible that this is a Douglas complex, namely the turbines in the background. You have one here. You have actually two here. It's a little bit hard to see. Maybe the bitrate is compressing it, but it's very visible in the original video. And you have two turbines over here, one here and one here. Now, as you can see, when we take a look at the Douglas complex, there's no wind farm in the background. When we go to my favorite database, not wind map, god damn it. You can see I literally just took a screenshot of one of the maps here. It obviously isn't complete, but you will see soon that there's no wind farm in the background. So we need this part of England/Wales. You've got Burbobank extension over here. You have North Hoyle over here and Windymoor over here. However that's pronounced, I'm sorry, Welsh people. So you can see here as well that from St. Anne's, which is approximately there, yeah, here, there should be no wind farm in the background because the wind farm here is continuing to here and then stopping there. So if what is visible in the video would be the Douglas complex, there should be no wind farm in the background. And actually, we can identify pretty much every single turbine in the background. When we take a look at the Lennox platform, and we extrapolate the view from St. Anne's, St. Anne's to Lennox platform, and then all the way over here, we can see, Lennox. We just make sure that you can see this. There we go. So you can see that in the background of Lennox platform, there should be turbines visible from Burbobank extension. And actually, when we go and actually measure this approximately there, so we have two turbines on this side, which is as seen from St. Anne's on the right side, and then one turbine on the left side, and then two turbines on the left side, as seen from St. Anne's. And guess what? This is exactly what we see here. We have two turbines here, a single one here, and two turbines over here. Slightly different distances.
in its entirety. No miraging going on. You see the lights coming on and coming off on the platform itself. Or you're looking at...
Stop. He's claiming that there's actually no miraging whatsoever going on. I think what he's saying is that the sky apparently was quite clear and that there's no, like, what they claim to be a refractive layer or refractive layer is probably the best word for it. And this will be becoming important afterwards. So he's claiming that the sky is clear enough so that refraction is not important.
And it was a warm day. If I remember rightly, it was probably around about 20 degrees or so. You see the platform lights coming on and off. No miraging going on. We're seeing all of that.
We have to go back by one image.
Miraging going on.
Stop. If there's no miraging whatsoever going on, then why is this rotor or this blade appearing to be almost hitting the water surface? We can take a look at the wind farm at Burbank extension later, but what I can already tell you is that this rotor here of this turbine has a diameter of approximately 164 meters. So the blade length is approximately 82 meters from the middle of the nacelle to the tip of the blade. That means that if the nacelle is approximately here, as you can see, there's one blade here, one blade there, and one blade there, then the tip of the blade, when it's going down, should be below the water surface, as seen from this vantage point.
We're seeing all of that platform. The wind farms are in the background behind it, giving an idea of where we are. There's the Met masts. I'll show it you again, zooming in.
Stop again. You can see it quite nicely over here. One turbine here, two turbines there, two turbines there. Exactly what we expect from Google Earth. One turbine here, two turbines there, and two turbines there. So that's a perfect match.
Those wind farms are 30 miles away.
Let's check if they're really 30 miles away. Nope, 22.3. 22, yeah, 22.
Some of them are further, some of them are as far as 35 miles away.
Oh, yeah, there's actually a wind farm behind Burbank extension. Pretty much you see the same bearing. But those wind farms in North Hoyle, when you take a look at the Wikipedia article, those are actually only half the size of the ones in Burbank. Those are 160 meter diameter rotors. Those guys here are 80 diameter rotors. And the hub height, the height of the nacelle, is actually much smaller than the ones in Burbank.
All of this platform should be hidden by the curve count.
No, it shouldn't. As we've already demonstrated, you're taking a look at the wrong platform. This is Lennox platform, not the Douglas complex.
Later, I'll show you the image again. Go back. Well, actually, I'll do the curve counts first. So if we did a distance of 26.6, and I don't know.
All right. So in the next few minutes, there will be a little discussion about the viewer height. As you can see, Ranty will start with. Sorry. As you will see, Ranty will start with 12 feet and then corrects it up to 20 feet, only then to be corrected by Nathan to get back to 12 feet. So let me show this. What the heck? What the heck did just happen?
Those wind farms.
There we go. Sorry. So the height, 12 feet. And then at some point he will plug in 20. And then again 12 feet. At least they're talking about 20 feet for a second. All right, so let's actually do the curve calculation. Metabron curve calculation. So I'm going to do this in imperial units. Let's take a look at the distance to Lennox platform. So as you can see, it's a little bit eyeballed. It's not very accurate, but should do the trick for now. We have 9.82 miles. 9.82 miles. And viewer height in feet, let's go by Ranty's 12. So you can see hidden should be 20 feet and refracted hidden 15 feet. So if we go to metric, those values here are automatically converted into metric. There's only maybe 5 meters missing. So this is in complete contrast to Ranty's claim on how much should be visible.
All of this platform should be hidden by the curve calculator.
Yeah, again,
I'll show you
it
the
shouldn't.
image again. We go back. Well, actually, I do the curve calcs first. So if we did a distance of 26.6, and I don't know, let's say, for argument's sake, I'll put 20.
There we go.
If you
There we go. So now the argument is breaking out on what the exact viewer height is. Ranty proposed 20, just to satisfy quote-unquote ball earthers. And then they will correct it down to 12 again.
You think I was at? Well, I'm just saying. If you think I was at 20 feet at the side of,
no, we just did this.
Pier,
we did this before we went live.
I know.
No need. So
I know.
You're at 2 feet, and your position is 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
And the low tide is what, -11?
I can go back down to the 12 if you want.
I mean,
I was just being generous to the ball.
But either way, it's
277 feet refracted, 333 feet hidden, 471 feet drop. And if we actually look for this particular Linux platform, just try and find it. It's 177.
Just to answer a quick question in the chat, RSC 227. No, I did not. I'm actually in the only state in Germany where you cannot do that because her party simply can't be elected here.
Foot high system. So to the top of the platform itself, where are we? The video. 177 feet. The curvature calcs say that where my cursor is, where the pointer is, should be hidden, and everything beneath.
Yeah, again, no, he's pointing at the wrong platform.
Beneath that should be beyond the curve of the Earth. You shouldn't see any of this platform, and then obviously all the wind farms in the background should be hidden. These met data, weather sensors shouldn't be there at all. As we zoom in, you got 1, 2, 3. They're 30 miles away.
Yeah, they're not 30 miles away. Even if those were the masts he's claiming they are, or he's claiming them to be, the heck, the distance wouldn't be 30 miles, it would be a little less, if I remember correctly. What the heck is this? What the fuck? Why isn't this working? There we go. Oh, for fuck's sake. For some reason, Google Earth doesn't like me today. Ay. So, why the heck isn't this working? There we go. As you can see, distance to this mast, 27 or 28 miles, 29 miles, and 27 miles. So yeah, even if those were the masts, he's giving an incorrect value. But well, that's just me a little bit nitpicking, but whatever.
See any of this? All of this should be hidden.
Yeah, on a curved Earth, if we lived on a sphere, it would be 150-foot plus wall blocking your view.
Nope, Nathan, again, as demonstrated, wrong platform.
And this stuff is 450 feet below your feet. And it
again, wrong platform.
Is absolutely obscured by the curve of the Earth. It isn't. Of course, we can just see it because the Earth's flat, just to make that absolutely clear. We're seeing it because it's there. This isn't a holographic effect. This isn't a mirage.
So if there are no mirages present, why the heck are the turbines not completely visible, Nathan? You never answer these questions.
None of it's looming. This stuff is just there.
All right, let's just, because Ranty is practically done with everything, and let's just take a look at these turbines. So again, this is these are probably turbines of the Burbank extension. And let's actually plug that into the Earth curvature calculator and find out on how much of these turbines should be visible. So the distance to the turbines in the Burbank extension area is approximately 21.5. Let's go with the first one. It's 21.2 miles. So I'm switching back to miles. 20, what did I say? 21.2? 21.2. 21.2. 21.2. As you can see, refracted hidden 157 feet. That's in metric 48 meters. Now, what is relevant is the turbines. What is the hub height? Fortunately, the website that I was referencing earlier, 4C Offshore, gives also nice values about the data of the individual wind farms. So, as you can see, let's scroll down here. So we have V164 8.0 megawatt Vestas wind turbines, diameter, rotor diameter 164 meters, total turbine height 187 meters, hub height 105 meters. So if the hub height is 105 meters and the diameter is 164 meters, then if a blade is pointing all the way down, it should be 23 meters. No, wait. 64. That's 105 minus 80, right? 100 and yeah, 164 minus 82, because 82 would be the blade length. What the heck am I doing here? 105 minus 82. There we go. 23 meters. So if a blade is all the way down, it's 23 meters above the water surface. Now let's take a look at this. So this length from here to here is approximately 82 meters. And if we wait a little bit until this blade would be around, it would be maybe approximately here. So we have at least 23 meters, probably more hidden behind the curvature, or at least hidden.
We see it because the Earth's flat. None of it's hidden by Earth curve. None of it's hidden by bulge. And when you're a foot and a half off the sand, you're not pointing your camera down towards anything. Let's be honest.
And here you see I actually dropped this is me dropping the tripod height to the lowest that it would possibly go. You can see the drop there where I actually dropped. And here we go. This should be, if we live on a curve, we should be looking down, and all that we're looking at, every single thing, every object that we can identify in this video should be beyond the curve of the Earth. Yeah,
again, no. Regarding those masts that you can see, I actually until today didn't find out what they actually were. But in the correction video that Ranty just did, he actually found one, or actually somebody showed him one of these. It's a shipping aid that is much closer to the shore, approximately 4 kilometers offshore. I have the coordinates of one of those here as well, which is right there. You can just Google it, SD3025 shipping aid. You will see the exact shape and pretty accurate distance. So yeah, those objects are identified, and they are not the wind masts.
If we lived on a boat.
Which, of course, we don't. Can you just bring up the curve calculator one last time so we know this platform's height, just so you can show it physically on the curve?
Yeah, obviously this value is then wrong as well. I haven't found yet any data regarding on how high the Lennox platform actually is. But plugging this into the Earth curvature calculator, actually comparing it, if this is shown out as unnecessary anyways, as it's the wrong platform.
So there we go. The actual
the Douglas complex is a 54-meter, 177-foot high system. And when we go to the Metabunk's curve calculator, we do the 26.6 miles. It should be 277 feet with a bit of refraction. Without refraction, it's all the threes, 333. So pretty much twice the height of the platform.
Just keep them up a sec. Sorry, Ranty. Just keep them up.
Yeah, sure.
Just one more sec.
I think it's pretty much done at this point. At this point, they'll just start repeating themselves, and then Nathan will give an outro to this video. So I guess the debunk is pretty much over. So let me plug on my headset again, and then Rumpus, I think you can now unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hi. So anything to add?
I've got something, screenshots and things I've collected together, a little document here. Might be, I can't remember. As I'm feeling a bit poorly, as I say, I got a bit of migraine, so I can't remember exactly what I've done now. And I had a bit of a shock. I managed to lose all my browser tabs on my about 100 browser tabs, which I've been trying to resolve the last. So I haven't been concentrating on. So yeah, let me just go. I haven't been concentrating on this issue, must admit. So yeah, I was just doing one of my quick documents. Basically just going over what you did. I mean, you sort of set me off saying we should debunk this, and we both went away, didn't we? Just shared the odd bit of information, and but just, I mean, Ranty. I mean, he must go through life getting every single thing wrong that he ever says. I mean, it's just extraordinary, that guy. I mean, Riley's about 98% of things he does and says are wrong, but Ranty seems to have an absolutely impeccable record of getting everything absolutely and completely and utterly wrong. And he's, this confident assertion about the Langness golf course and clubhouse, and how certain he was. It's absolutely certain. He couldn't understand how anybody couldn't agree with him. Oh my God. And then he does this with absolute confidence. And also you'll notice in that video that quite often he keeps on referencing the Linux platform. Then he goes to that Wikipedia page and then calls it the Douglas platform. And as well as getting the coordinates wrong, he keeps on interchanging with, for instance, the height. So you've got, I think, 7 minutes there. He tried to get the height of it. And he said, "Oh, this is the height of the Linux platform," even though he was looking at the Douglas complex.
Yeah, I mean, Ranty is somebody who jumps to conclusions really quickly, and the amount of research, as you guys saw, I pretty much did this live. Apart from plugging everything into Google Earth, shows how quickly he actually does that without being able to actually do any research beforehand, because this is literally a 5-minute thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can see also from this picture I've got here, this screen grab here, you can actually see that this thing that he claimed was further away than further than 20 odd miles. You can see this goddamn thing's on the beach.
Yes, he claimed this. He claimed this to be 30 miles away.
Yeah, I mean, this as you found. What was it? This thing. It's this thing here.
Yes, exactly.
And it's on. I forgot this map here, which is the one that you. I got it on the on an ordnance survey thing, and there it is sitting there. There's the pier there, and there it is sitting there on the sandbank, being a navigator. Just because it's a bloody triangle, because it's this shape, he's obviously thought, oh, that's a Met mast. But I do have a screen grab somewhere else of the Met mast, but unfortunately, I have a little bit of a disaster with my browser. So you could just visually, you can see it's utter incompetence. And this is actually a picture by Al Kay, who I can't remember why he was taking a picture of this in September, October. This is a picture of the same platform, the Linux platform, actually, but with that strange ship next to it. This has confused me for a bit. Thinking, oh God, is this Linux thing actually the Douglas and what have you? But I then thought, hold on, that looks rather like that ship thing that goes around. And indeed,
this is the ship that you'll see these large steel pillars.
There it is.
Exactly. Yeah, it can lift itself out of the water for I guess maintenance purposes or whatever. But the point is that this is practically a mobile oil rig. Yes, so you can drive it anywhere you want and then just fix it and be practically weather independent because you're fixed to the seafloor instead of the.
In fact, I just realised that's it there. That's it risen up. I've just suddenly realised what this.
Yes,
that's it there. Sorry, I thought it was behind, but it's not. That's actually the boat there rising up.
Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. You can see some features, including the bridge.
Yes, when I was looking at this earlier, I said I guessed it, but I didn't realise I was actually looking at until just then. That was actually the. But I mean, this is the idiotic thing. He saw this. He actually correctly identified it as the Linux thing. Yet he was looking at this picture, and he would interchange the two, and then he was getting information from Wikipedia on this thing, and then applying it to the Linux platform, which does match what he's got in the video. Fortunately, with Linux written on it. Then there's those things. There, I was going to do a bit more on this, but no, yes, that's it. What did I have? on
That's
Google.
pretty much it. Again, I invited Nathan and Ranty to join, both of which have uploaded correction videos. So Ranty pretty much admitted that, yeah, he fucked up. And Nathan, actually, I didn't watch Nathan's video completely yet. I probably will. Just in case that there's something they're still claiming that is wrong, because that would have to be debunked later. So, yeah.
Yeah, and as you've demonstrated with the wind farm and the blades and the turbines and the position of the wind turbines and how we can demonstrate, because the tip. I mean, it would have been nice if you'd drawn on there the length of the tip and actually showed it going. It would have to go under the water. If you'd drawn a line that was the length of that blade, you could have shown by rotating it. It would have to go on underwater. So this is an absolute demonstration of the spherical nature of the Earth. It's always amazing, the self-refuting every goddamn time, these people, that the Isle of Man is proof of the spherical Earth, because contrary to what Nathan claims, it's not at the 0 degrees. It actually below. You have to look down. If you were to draw, I'll do this in my bloody website thing I'm doing. If you draw the zero angle, if you were to draw a line at 0 degrees, a tangent to the Earth onto the Isle of Man drops, because the Monk model doesn't work. As we know, that Snaefell and everything doesn't match with the North Barul heights. His model is a complete incompetent idiot. And the more they try, the more they prove the spherical Earth. And those turbines, yeah, I love that. So that's just fantastic to have those turbines actually in the picture. They got them. I mean, he didn't even do the basic thing where he thought, okay, if it is that, there'd have to be I don't know what he was measuring. I don't know whether he was looking at an out-of-date thing in Google Earth, because, as you say, he should have realised that if he was going to the wrong platform, because he got the location of the Good Douglas one, he should have known by looking, because he must have, yeah, I suppose perhaps he didn't go to that, okay, well, he should have known from looking at the field, to identify those things. Yeah, he must have, to identify the position of those wind farms, he must have looked at that thing you just looked at and realised that to look at the Douglas complex, he had to look through the wind farm.
Wait, Rumpus, I think him looking at this wind farm was actually in his video, or in their video.
Right.
I think, first of all, let's mute this. I don't want to hear Nathan anymore.
Yeah.
Let me just share my screen again. There we go. Let's just fast forward through this. It was somewhere.
Because, I mean, if he did that, I mean, it's just idiocy of the first order to actually.
There it is. 3 minutes 35.
Yes.
Right, he definitely has access to the data of the wind farms. So he has no excuse of claiming it's that platform if he knows there's wind turbines in the background. That's absolutely unexcusable, in my opinion.
But he hasn't got the right. But on that diagram, though, there isn't. He didn't do the overlay, which is what we did. So presumably that on that diagram, it doesn't have the Douglas complex, does it?
The Douglas complex, no, it just has the mad masts.
Yes. So okay.
But I think at this point, if you're making claims and he was using Google Earth, he should know how to do this.
Yeah. So, but even so, the Met masts are clearly wrong. Even if he didn't get the complex, if he thought those were the Met masts.
Yeah, I mean, he should have seen that the right two are blocked by Berberbeck Wind Farm.
Yeah, and obviously, if he had positioned, as you say, the Douglas complex, or got this.
Sharing. There we go. So this is the video that they uploaded yesterday, 3 minutes 35 seconds, and Ranty is showing that he has access to 4C offshore data.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So I mean, he's incompetent in even the most basic test, where he even thought on his diagram where he's got everything in one place, in one website, where these masts, he should have thought, hold on, there's this big wind farm that should be in the way, as well as the fact that they were obviously sitting on the sand and very, very close. And then if you did bother to go and check the coordinates, which you should have done, if you're going to make these sorts of claims, which of course, obviously just like Riley, they just make claims without thinking about it. They can't draw. They can't bring tape measures taut. They can't work out angles. I mean, every single thing you think they can cock up, they somehow manage to find another thing they can cock up. I mean, you'd have thought with this one diagram, you'd have thought, hold on, this is on one side of this block of wind on the wind farm, and not on the other. Can he not draw lines? I mean, and Riley yesterday about the claiming this is something else I got trying to do on my website, was the bit about Ali Al-Kay and him claiming he didn't give the measurement of the angle of the 26.5 degrees, when there's a video 2 seconds after the bit that he showed in the hangout with Nathan. These keep that it showed Al-Kay actually had it from the picture from the Darktrace measurement showing the angle, and here it's, which is unbelievably incompetent, and this is even worse. I mean, even look at the diagram. It's almost as though we have to be there and say, look, there's a thing between this thing and that thing along your line of sight.
Well, we already know that Ranty doesn't know how perspective works in terms of.
That's something I'm going to do in some detail on my website.
I mean, there were two claims he actually fucked up. First of all, there was way back last year. There was something about Blackpool Tower, about the three landmarks in Blackpool that he thought were the correct landmarks, but they weren't.
He got them all wrong, did he?
Yeah, he got them all wrong. And then the second thing was on the Isle of Man, where he zoomed in. He thought zooming in equals moving closer to the object in photographs.
Oh, I've got to show you. Okay, I've got to show you that diagram actually while I'm here. Yeah,
and therefore got all the data.
This is part of my website. This is coming up, and part of that is a little flat Earth aside, going into details about perspective and moving. And this is the diagram in question. This amazing piece of work, which Nathan, on seeing it, his immediate reaction was, "That's brilliant," and then called it later. Well, he didn't call it brilliant. He called it that's what was the phrase he used? That's sufficient or something. And then he later described it as a benchmark. This diagram here, which, as I'm going to show, if people are going to see in my later thing, which I may have seen in my presentation, all the things that are wrong with it, he's actually misidentified most of the things on it because he's positioned the stupid thing where he did. Where's it going up here?
All right. Rumpus, I actually want to keep this hangout relatively short.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, right.
I mean, it's fine. You've given your presentation on the Isle of Man, anyways.
No, that's fine. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No, I just wanted to go explore the theme. Just the sheer idiocy of Ranty is all just that little bit more I mean, you'd have thought Riley is as stupid as it gets, but Ranty's just that extra bit more stupid that you didn't. He managed to dig further underneath the bottom of the barrel just to really let you know.
So for the last 10-15 minutes, I'm gonna actually open this to the side chat, so whoever wants to join has the chance to.
Okay.
Actually, just send me a message if you want to join, because I actually don't want to share this link in case of snipers. So anybody who has my Skype info, just message me via Skype. Or actually, I don't know if my Skype is working right now. It has been bugging the entire day. Just send me a private YouTube message, and then I will send you the link.
Did you get that Skype message from me, Alex?
I've
just
got it, yeah, but apparently Riley just also sent me some messages a few minutes ago, and I didn't get those on the PC. I just got them via my smartphone.
All right.
So let's see, community messages.
I mean, he could have walked out. He could have walked on that sand from that position where he was to that. He could have just walked there. He could have just gone over there and walked over to that mast.
Well, knowing how inept Ranty actually is on doing anything, he would probably walk there while the tide is coming in and drown.
Yes, indeed. I mean, because it is so flat, there is an area around here where I think there's a lot of Chinese pickle, Chinese. Was it whatever it was? There was some shellfish. They were drowned because it is so flat here, or around here. I think it's near Morecambe Bay, perhaps, which is close to here. You get these large flat areas where so it would be dangerous probably to walk out there. And that's what, and I think it becomes like quicksand. So if you're trying to walk away, you suddenly find that you're submerged. The sand suddenly turns to quicksand. You then can't walk very quickly, and then it's all over if you don't know how to deal with sinking quicksand. But he could have walked to that goddamn thing. I mean, it's just he probably couldn't have walked to the one. He could have probably walked to the two of them, but not the one on the right.
Well, I haven't found the position of all three yet. Only the most left one, I think.
Yeah, I mean. Well, yes, I did try and find the other position of the other two.
But yeah, so we can definitely say they're wrong about those.
Yeah, so that's the one on the left. Yeah, so there's the one on the left. Is there?
I think I'm still screen sharing. Yeah, I'm still sharing it. That's
so
fine.
that would have been, yeah. So that's the one on the left. We've got, yes, that one there. So the other two might be slightly, it's a bit slightly further away. So I haven't identified where they are. But
Sean, this is actually not about Riley. This is about Ranty. Are you talking about the Skype thing? Yeah, he still has Skype. Obviously, he's talking to me pretty much on a daily basis regarding that stuff. So yeah, he's avoiding you. Hey, Steve.
Yeah. Just putting this guy here clearly walked out to this point. Of course, who took this photograph? He actually walked out, obviously, to this navigation aid.
Yeah,
just as Ranty could have done. God, and he's claiming it's 30 miles away. I mean, just whatever it was, is beyond the. Oh dear. He can't even look at pictures and get them right. I mean, this is the level these people are at. And Nathan, of course, is just no. God, he's just almost as stupid. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Nathan was that he was sharing it or calling it proof without actually checking it first.
Yeah, that's right. They have no criteria. They have no bar, do they? He has no anything that in any way supports what he wants to believe. It's amazing. If you want to believe something so much, you just don't care the quality of the evidence. And we've demonstrated this. Well, the fact that he described that picture I was just showing in the Isle of Man analysis that Ranty did as benchmark. And he was saying how we had to live up to this benchmark analysis of Ranty's. This guy has no idea what. I mean, he doesn't understand curves. He doesn't understand hidden, drop, whatever. He thinks it should be hidden by this so much of the curve. And in fact, as you said, we're only missing 5 meters of this goddamn thing in this picture.
And that's also another point that I completely forgot mentioning. Let me just share the video again.
5 meters of your platform.
If you take a look at this, Rumpus.
Okay.
This picture, do you notice something regarding the headings of the different objects? I don't think I actually showed this. Or I actually mentioned this in the debunk part. So you see that you have those 2 objects, and then you have the platform, and then you have the 4th or the 3rd shipping aid. So when we go to Google Earth again, the red lines are towards the masts. So Douglas Complex is right of all the 3 of them.
God,
so they're actually the wrong way around if they were what Ranty would be claiming.
Good point. Yes. Oh,
so yeah, another point where they fucked up.
I mean, I went through when I did my presentation on how to work out what things were on the Isle of Man. I went through something like 6 criteria that you should apply, basically checking the relative angular distances. Of course, they don't understand angular sizes and distances and things, and check the order is right, the relative positions are right. And of course, he did none of this, did he? He just simply said that I believe is the Douglas platform. Well, the Lennox Douglas swapping it every other moment. He didn't check the position of the mast. He didn't check the relative positions. He didn't check the absolute positions. He didn't check the. Yeah, he no doubt here. I mean, you should be able to say he should have worked out if he could identify those masts are. There are some pictures elsewhere of those masts. You could then say, well, what size? Because he's mathematically incompetent, like Riley, who doesn't know what the sine function is or can't do any trigonometry whatsoever without the aid of a website. Anybody doing any basic calculations, you or I, would be saying, okay, how big is this? How big should it be? The distances, how tall it should be, the distance between them, the separation, the absolute position, the bearing. We'd be doing all of these things, and they just don't even do one of them. I mean, it's just any test that you would have applied to this, it would have failed. I mean, they didn't even do one test other than I want it to be that. I mean, it's not even the right check. I mean, admittedly, he does call it. I'm not sure in his mind what he thinks it actually is, that thing. Does he think it's the Lennox thing or the Douglas thing? Because he went to the Douglas, because obviously the Douglas complex, we can see that it's a thing in 3 parts. So and that picture is only showing a thing that only has one sort of unit. So. But he kept on. I mean, even in his own mind, he merged the 2 together and called it Lennox and the Douglas complex. I mean, what a muddle he must live in. God, Jesus Christ.
All right. So again, hello, Steve. I can't hear you.
Hello, Gio and the Rumpus. Hello.
Hey,
you can hear me,
Steve.
Now
awesome.
We can hear you. Hey,
Rumpus. I am so glad that you're on our side, by the way, because if you were a flat earther, it'd be devastating.
Yeah, I do have the opposite position. There are a couple of people who are on the globe side, and I think, please become a flat earther, please. You're discrediting us. Please go away and become a flat earther so I can attack you properly. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, there's one or two of them. But anyways, so Geos, I've heard Ranty might have modified his position a little bit on some of this.
Yeah, basically, apparently Nathan and Ranty are in full damage control mode right now. About 5.
Shocking.
Well, now it's 6 hours ago. Apparently, both of them uploaded correction videos. I think the first one was Ranty, which was then followed by Nathan. I haven't watched Nathan's correction video completely yet, but it's only 5 minutes or so long, so I don't think it will be very thorough. And I'm hoping that tomorrow in the regular quote-unquote debate that they will be hosting, they will do another one. Just to explain in detail what went wrong, and actually maybe even delete or at least add a comment under the video that we were talking about right now to say that all the assertions made were false.
So when you say damage control, or is there damage control that they're doing is acknowledgement that what you and the Rumpus and other people have pointed out of the mistakes, or is there damage control as, oh, yeah, we know we messed up, but this is what we need to do to fix it, and therefore demonstrate flat Earth?
It's the second one, because they're using the wind turbines in the distance to say it's still flat Earth, which we've shown to be wrong.
More nonsense then.
They have claimed to be human, though. They said, oh, look, we're human. We know we're human. We make mistakes, and this is one of them, so we own up to it. We're really magnanimous about this, but we're just human. Humans make mistakes. And there we are. So we're being really honest sort of guys. Oh, my God.
Hey, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, Sean. But they didn't do. The thing is, we can't let them get away with that. You make mistakes like that if you don't bother to check in the slightest what the hell you're talking about. If you don't apply any sort of self-critical analysis, you don't bother to think, okay, let me just try one test, one test on what the hell I'm doing, they would have found a failure. They could have employed any one of 5 or 6 tests and found that it wouldn't work. But no, they didn't even get to the point of testing themselves once. It's just that looks not right. I believe in that. I want to believe in it. Therefore, I'm going to believe in it. I see it, so it's there. I see this fact in my head. I see a fact, therefore I believe it.
So, Sean, do you have anything to add regarding the debunking?
Just the standard Ranty thing. He sees something he thinks fits his claim, and he just buries himself with it like he always has, like his 3rd-degree sunburn from chemtrails.
Yeah, this entire chemtrail thing, I'm hoping to get a chemtrail on my channel.
We are working. I'm actually surprised. I'm helping you with that one.
I'm actually surprised he's actually kind of turned away from the Nibiru thing, because usually when people
wait, Ranty was also a Nibiru guy.
Yeah, when he first started out, he was all Nibiru, and then he got on the bigger conspiracy of flat Earth. It started out with Nibiru, then it went to chemtrails, then it went to flat Earth.
9/11. Don't forget he was on 9/11, wasn't he?
I think he's always been on 9/11. That's kind of a.
How about a birther? Would you an Obama birther too?
Riley's also 9/11. I know that.
Yeah, God. You see, the thing is, this flat Earth business and all their other things, this is just the tip of the iceberg. These people just don't function very well in terms of processing evidence or doing anything. And so the flat Earth thing is just a symptom of a much bigger problem they have in their lives.
I completely agree.
They can't reason. They can't process evidence.
They seem to what they all seem to have in common is a complete lack of ability of critical thinking.
Yeah.
Sure, but here's the thing. I mean, a lot of them might have some kind of a mental deficiency where they cannot understand these kinds of concepts. But what they want to do is they want to place themselves on some equal level for those who do. I mean, look at the Rumpus. Say what you want about the Rumpus. As much as he talks, he knows your shit. Nobody would ever say Rumpus doesn't know what he's talking about on this topic. He knows it exceptionally well. They want to be on that level. And so they want to think that they know something that the Rumpus doesn't know, so that they're smarter than the Rumpus. And it's just a bizarre way of trying to approach a conversation.
You're absolutely right, Stephen. This is a point I've made many times, and I think other people you have as well. These people, I think, are basically losers in life. And so they like G-Man, etc., etc. And so they think, well, hold on, I'm losing out. This life is oppressing me. Life is society is pressing on me. Other people are doing better. I'm not coping. And I don't understand reality. I don't understand the world. I don't understand society. I don't understand human beings. I barely understand how to dress myself. So the only way of sort of enhancing their ego and gaining self-respect is to believe that they've got some secret knowledge that we don't. They're special. Everyone else. And so they can build up their own ego by thinking that they know something that we don't, that's special and somehow difficult, a bit pseudoscience-y, that they can couple of words. And there's a guy called Erwin on the, I don't know if you've seen him, Steve, on the Flat Earth channel, on Nathan's thing, he turns up, who's got this, he doesn't understand how to do trigonometry. Pythagoras is his limit, and he believes that there's a slant. He doesn't believe the sun is a real thing. It's some sort of hologram, and he doesn't understand the most basic things about science and reasoning, but he thinks because he's got this special knowledge, he's somehow, as you say, gathered his own. He's obviously managed to gather some sort of self-respect through this process of delusion.
Well, Rumpus, I got to make Steve a liar real quick. I'm going to say it because I can. You don't know what you're talking about. I just wanted to say it because nobody can really say it.
Let's have a debunking of the Rumpus's debunking.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Well, actually, I did cock up. I do have to admit, I did make a mistake. My second mistake with the guy on this Flat Earth, actually, Al K, who went to the same site that Riley did, and it turns out that I've mistaken a promontory on the side of the cliff has actually made the height that I believe that Riley took the first video. I've had to move it down by 1.5 meters. Now.
God! Oh my God! No! Oh, that just totally proves Flat Earth now. Then I guess.
So made a second mistake now. So,
how could you?
Yeah, I mean the first one actually, Geo caught me out on. Actually, I misidentified 4 houses on the side of the thing, and I was thinking, hold on, this is. It turned out to be hidden below the horizon, and then Geo chipped in on the Skype. Hold on, I think you're wrong there, and indeed I was. And then again, Sly had the same problem with the same houses. So it's
but here's the difference, Rumpus. You make a mistake, and the Flat Earthers will make 12 videos on it. They make a mistake, and everybody's like, "Who cares?" They've par for the course.
Well, I have to say, I'm trying
these monkey videos.
This website, and I've got all these flat art sections, and I just realised that they're overwhelming me. I can't keep up. There's just no way. The sheer output of idiocy and errors is just beyond my ability to correct. And what's more, I think they've choked my. So I haven't been able. I've been meaning to make this website for over a week or two. Well, 3 weeks now, and I haven't been able to do it because they keep on giving me more crap to write. And I think they're deliberately trying to give me so much crap I'm trying to fix. I can't actually get the first thing out of.
They're trying to smother you and shit.
Yeah, Rumpus, there's a principle called the bullshit asymmetry principle. Have you heard about it?
Exactly.
It basically states that debunking bullshit takes 1 or 2 magnitudes order of magnitudes more than actually producing bullshit.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
true,
what's
though.
happening
It is
to
true.
you. That is true. That's correct.
Yeah, I was just looking at that Paulogia video. I said, Steve, I meant to look at that hangout you did on the zirconium stuff about the debunking of that, and Paulogia's, oh God, whatever his name. Paulogia. Yes, and the thing I meant to catch, you had a couple of scientists who actually knew exactly what the data was. And I was thinking the work they've had to do to debunk that idiot and his random
6
claims.
hours worth of hangouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an in-depth topic, and Paulogia took it to be, something that was very intricate. I think his video was amazing. There was one minor mistake that he made, which he did cop to, but people have already been pointing that out, and that just had to do with his saying that atomic clocks had to do with radioactive dating,
yes, that was
decay rather than.
But
we know it has to do with.
I'm going to give that to him though. He did so well.
Minor stuff, and I actually told him. I said, dude, it wasn't really as bad as you think, because if you look at like carbon dating, you look at radiometric dating, they call that atomic clocks too. But his faux pas was that he put an atomic clock on the screen talking about it.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I mean, the guy does this research like you wouldn't believe. And if that's the biggest thing that there was a problem, then that's awesome, because he goes through a lot of work. He spent a lot of time talking to Dr. Hankey and to Dr. Lachey on this.
Actually,
yeah, and that was, like you said, there was 6 hours of hangout. So
yeah, it proves your theory, the bullshit theory. And unfortunately, this is the thing, though. It is an intellectually worthwhile exercise. Although we're having a go at Ranty being a complete idiot. The work that the brief work I've had to do and the work that Gio's done about debunking it, you actually have to do quite a lot of intellectual work. I've been trying to generate bits of website to do this, and I've been fighting with information and data, and it's actually really intellectually strenuous. I mean, you deal with young earth creationists more of the time, and that's, you can say that's completely stupid, but actually the work you have to do, like the zirconium thing, is it's quite intellectually demanding.
That was a lot of work, but I couldn't do what you guys do with Flat Earth. You guys are way more proficient at that.
Well, I think you gave me that presentation about a year ago, didn't you, on your take on the zirconium thing and all the halos and things.
I did a presentation on polonium halos, which is similar, but that took a little bit of research. You saw my PowerPoint.
I did, yeah. Well, I was there. I was on it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you were on it. So I mean, I wanted to put forth something that was quick. And by the way, they both watched that, and they actually said that they thought that I did a very good job at presenting.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, I think it was good.
And they're physicists, so I was like, I feel cool with that. You know.
Yeah, that was good. No, it's good. You made a few mistakes about half-lives or something, I remember, but it was basically it was good. Yeah. So
yeah. No, I mean, I looked it over again. I'm like, okay, I probably would have done this differently and stuff like that. Maybe,
but it was good though. It was good stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work had gone to that. So yeah, so the basic principle you're highlighting is the one is a basic principle that covers all these things of dealing with idiocy. It might seem as though we're dealing with these idiots, and why should we? But actually, the intellectual value of working on it to debunk them is actually quite considerable.
Well,
but does it do any good for them? What's that, Sean?
It depends on the claim that you're actually trying to debunk. With the Isle of Man stuff, yeah, that takes a lot of math. It takes a lot of knowing the nitpicky details that they never wanted to give. But most of the claims, like what I deal with, is stuff that doesn't take all that much time. But if you try to explain it in a scientific sort of way, you're going to lose people. So you have to do it. You have to dumb it down.
Yeah.
And I do that. I actually translate scientific theory back to layman terms very, very well.
Well, your drone thing was excellent. You're going up and down with your drone. I thought was a fantastic demonstration of, the sun that supposedly has disappeared because it's so far away. But if you just move up a bit,
it's gone again. Was that the smoke from the building?
No, I was.
Which one? So did you have the one where that had like smoke coming out of the building and you could actually see it darker and lighter as the drone went up, it changed? Wasn't that you?
Well, no. What happened was my first time I tried to go out and catch a sunrise, I missed the timing on it. But as I was lowering the drone, the sun was actually coming up over the horizon more, and it actually started to light the smoke from the top down, coming from the hospital chimney. Or the oxygen blow off, I should say. And then I of course, had my triple sunset and my quadruple sunrise.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What's up?
Sly, holy shit! Hey, buddy.
So Sly, are you still laughing?
I just had to watch it. I'm sorry. Commercial break. Take a breather, Rumpus. I know you're working hard. What do you call it? That shit with Riley and that laser pointer. That had to be the funniest fucking thing that I have seen in like at least a month.
Steve, if you haven't seen it yet, I've got 2 videos out. One is called "Light Doesn't Travel" with a question mark.
Oh, yes, I need to watch that.
Because Anthony and somebody else on Nathan's Hangout day before yesterday made a claim that light is instantaneous. It has no travel time.
Yes.
Well, to the photon.
Well, to the photon, yes, but not to us.
Yeah. Right. They couldn't understand the big difference there?
Well, I actually bought something at work yesterday while I was on break, went outside and disproved that light.
I haven't watched it, but I did see it come up. I did have a bookmark. The yellow thing, right? What were you?
Yeah. Anthony actually made a comment on that, saying that I need to take it apart and take the laser out and then do a reading and notice that it'll still get a reading on it because the laser is just there to target.
Do you guys know the Fizeau-Foucault apparatus?
The who?
The what?
Fizeau-Foucault apparatus. It was a device used in 1849 to determine the speed of light.
Yeah.
Oh, the Foucault. Right. Oh God.
So why does he think?
So today I made a follow-up video because he gave me the challenge of doing it without the laser. So I took him up on the challenge today, and he was destroyed. He's been avoiding me ever since.
I'll definitely have to watch that. But why would he think that light's instantaneous to us? We can actually see. We know that light takes time to propagate from our perspective. We've known that for God knows how long.
But Riley didn't make that claim. It was the other sort of new age idiot who made that claim.
Correct. The other guy made that claim, and then Riley today tried to back it up.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Right. Okay.
And just to point out, Steve, wasn't it Riley that made a video saying that you were doing a bandwagon fallacy?
Yes, he did, and he got that completely wrong.
Yeah, I've seen some of your comments on that. But Riley just exhibited bandwagon fallacy.
Fallacy. Yeah, he literally just if that's what you said happened, then he would be guilty of bandwagon fallacy. Yes.
Yeah, it's because a flat Earth retard said something, and Anthony had to take it as true at all costs.
He for some reason out of the gate was accusing people of bandwagoning fallacy because, again, I don't think he understands what that is. But the argumentum ad populum has nothing to do with scientific consensus, because the scientific consensus is not saying X is true because people believe it. They're saying X is more probabilistically true because we've evidence to show that X is more probabilistically true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big difference.
I think you'll get a kick out of both of those videos.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch them. It's just, I've been really backlogged on videos lately. I swear.
But the
so
other,
many good ones out there.
Riley, did you see the bit where he Philip, the ray tracing guy, when he was trying to explain to him how you saw, and Riley didn't accept the fact that photons went into the eye, and he said that you just see it because you see it. He didn't accept the photons were going into the eye and then hitting a retina and detecting it.
Well, most flat earthers don't actually accept the fact that the eye is a receiver in the first place.
Really?
Most flat earthers that I've actually spoken to, and I could probably, if you gave me a minute, I could actually dig up comments and maybe even videos that say that the eye itself, almost as if a rangefinder can only see so far.
That's right. Riley thinks you can't see, yes, a candle. That's right. In fact, he used your quote. He said that because you demonstrated you can't see a candle at 30 miles or something, he said, therefore you can't see stars. And then the physicist guy then said, well, you can because stars are much brighter. But he couldn't cope with that. The concept.
I don't even know how to wrap my head around this stuff when you guys talk about this. I mean, how did they get to this? This is not complicated stuff. They don't seem to understand that. Oh my! I can't. I'm done.
How deep you want to go, Steve?
No, I don't. That's why I don't come around that much. I can't go much deeper because I swear to God, I'd be just drooling at this point.
Steve, the basic premise behind it is they have to deny anything that can be used against flat Earth,
and
no matter what extreme, right?
Exactly.
No matter what the consequences.
But let me point one thing out to you though. And this is something really neat. It was an accident actually. Riley, for example, Riley showed that he is actually an intellectual and smart guy. Okay, just a regular Joe. Okay, because I had a video out a while back called Quickies 3. In that video, there was a nondescript portion of it, which I was just arguing with one particular flat earther about a lie that he told, that this other flat earther told, about how much water was displaced by a wrench when you dropped it in water and blah, blah, blah. And Riley didn't realize that it was actually me rebutting somebody who was trying to claim flat earth. He didn't realize it, and I didn't really even put any description in it, because I just wanted it to be between me and this other dude, right? And Riley actually did a review of that thing, and he said, well, yeah, you're 100% right. It should be this much and blah, 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 and this is how you do it and all this other stuff. I mean, he detailed it out exactly what I was doing right. And then he turned around and he goes, but, I don't know what this is about, so, I'll move on to the next subject. Not realizing that he was defending me against a flat earther.
This is Hillbilly, isn't it? Wild Hillbilly or something? There's a guy.
But yeah, that fucking idiot. But what do you call it? But the funny part is that he turned around in the exact same video and got all heated about the hotspot claim. I'm sure you've probably heard of at least that one.
Yeah.
He got all heated about the hotspot claim, telling me that I was wrong and then I was a liar. And then in the same video that he made a rebuttal video, in that exact same video, proved to me that I was right about hotspots because of the fact that the hotspot in the dog cam video is actually over northern Poland.
Yes, that's one of your best videos. So it's a really good video there.
And it was so funny because he actually drew out, this is no bullshit, drew out the AE map, put in there, Tropic Capricorn, Tropic Cancer, Equator, and stuff like that, and then the apparent circuit of the sun within those borders and stuff like that. And he goes, yeah, of course it doesn't go over Poland, while at the same time claiming that it's over Poland. So Riley gets caught up in his own stupidity, and when he's trying to claim flat Earth, but yet he seems to have the intellectual power to know that everything that he's fucking saying is bullshit. So
They are their best contradiction. I mean, they are self-refuting, aren't they? I mean, if you put them in, they don't realise when they're articulating contradictions, and this is half the fun. they don't realise one thing they're saying contradicts another thing they're saying because they haven't got the intellectual power to realise that those things are contradictory when they're not completely obvious.
Just like Nathan arguing with me the other day that I was claiming holograms. I was like, well, no, I'm not. And they're like, yeah, you are. You're claiming holograms. I said, no, I'm not. And then I actually defined to them what a fucking hologram was. And I was like, where am I defining that?
Yeah, he's admitted the fact that he used the word hologram as a deliberately provocative misrepresentation of what we are suggesting is moving. Which is wants to annoy us.
Which is the exact center of everything flat Earth. They're not doing this because they think the Earth is flat. They want to be heard.
That might be their motivation, but I think they do believe it. I think they're not intelligent enough to realize otherwise. Because I mean, we've just seen today, for instance, Ranty's thing. These people are not intelligent enough to be trying to articulate a fraud upon us. They're just not that intelligent. They can't. I think they have problems dressing themselves. They're that difficult. I mean, there's simple things. Because if you were at all intelligent, you wouldn't have done what Ranty's done. Because now he's been exposed as an idiot yet again, and so you wouldn't do this sort of stupid thing.
Well, plus Ranty's the one who said that in Blackpool that roller coaster, what's called the big one. Ranty says that the big one. He actually used to say that the big one was actually an obstruction light on top of a crane.
Did he? I've missed this. I mean,
that was
talking about it earlier.
Yeah, that's a new one on me.
No, that was way back.
Like
that was way back
2016,
in the beginning,
maybe.
Right, and that was way back in the beginning when what's his name? Riley lost the city of Blackpool, and what do you call it? And somehow found that to be I don't know what his actual final conclusion was on that, but most recently said it's because of the highly illuminated piers that you can't see are blocking the city. Yeah, and but I mean, all that shit, and it's just like, oh my god, are you fucking serious? But around that time, Ranty was his photographer, and what do you call it? And Ranty took a picture when they finally actually did take it from the place that they said they took it from. Ranty had specifically claimed, which completely threw me off. I have to say, I fell for it. Okay, because we had a whole hangout, me and Sean, and I forgot who else, but there was a couple other people. I think Dazza was even in on it, and we sat there and we dissected this, looking for this stupid fucking crane. And the funny part was there was no crane. It was a roller coaster with an obstruction light on top of it. And I even had to put together, and my video's still up, I had to put up a retraction on it because I was like, wait a minute. I said, we just got taken for a ride here because, we were looking for Blackpool Tower and this crane that was by some airfield there in Blackpool, which wasn't there. It was just bonkers, man.
They can confuse you. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, they can really send you for a twist, man.
Hello, all.
What up?
I thought I'd come in because I had some interesting news. I had been on the Discord this morning and talked to Curved Water for a little bit.
He's awesome.
He is. He's a lot of fun. But we had discussed something a little serious because it's all well and good to make fun of them. It's all well and good to make to call them out. And but the fact of the matter is throwing facts at them and doing that does not seem to be convincing a lot of them to change their mind. He was along the lines of, what can we do to actually change their mind? So to that end, I had mentioned that maybe we could get Shannon Q to give us some pointers. And I've been talking to Shannon Q today on Twitter. I don't know if all of you know who Shannon Q is. Some of you might.
I've seen her briefly. She seems very eloquent.
She is. She's had a couple hangouts with some of the more stubborn people in the community. And she's actually been she's actually had decent conversations. And I refer to G-Man and Rand Campbell and who else is
she had a Rand Campbell? Why on earth would
God, this
anybody
girl.
want to talk to Rand Campbell?
Yeah, we had Rand Campbell, we had Godless Girl, we even had, and not all of them were like whacked up. And we've had like Ocean Keltoy have a conversation with her.
Rand Campbell. Why would
we had
you want to
Nephilim
talk to
Free.
Rand Campbell?
Yeah,
Nephilim Free. Yeah,
Nephilim Free.
Seriously,
G-Man.
for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
So they were good conversations, though. They weren't as bad as you would think.
No, they didn't go. They didn't go poorly. So, I was thinking that we could, have a couple of people who are interested. And she did give me. She said she was really busy this week because she's always kind of, in demand.
Yeah, no, I was going to say something like that, but here's my take on that, Dave, and I'll ask your guys' opinion as too, because you guys deal with flat earthers a lot. I think there's a degree of dishonesty with flat earthers beyond that of most groups we deal with. Therefore, I don't think there's anything that anybody can say to change their position, only for the fact is because they don't want their position changed. They don't care. They're dishonest. Yep. And therefore, that no matter what you throw at them, no matter how you come at them, it doesn't matter. The best we can do is prevent other people from falling down that rabbit hole. Yeah. That's my take on it.
Well, I agree. I agree that there's definitely some sort of dishonesty going on, and there's actually a paradox there. The more or the bigger the mistake is that they make, and you show that to them, the less likely they are to accept it. When it's a small point where they're wrong, they will accept it. But when you show them a complete fuck up, they're not gonna do it.
Right. That's why Anthony doesn't say. That's why Anthony said a word to or about me really for the last 6 or 7 videos.
Yeah, I gotta watch those videos that you put out on that. If that exactly happened like that, that's no wonder he's avoiding you. I mean, but do you think he actually feels guilt? Do you think he actually feels like he's done something wrong, or do you think he's just like coming up with a way to try to spin this, and that's why he's just taking his time?
No, and that's why I was like, well, maybe we could get someone to give us, like us, as people who are might be interested in educating. I'm not sure all of us are, but some of us might be interested in trying to pull as many people out of this conspiracy as are willing to come out. Because I understand if somebody wants help, they have to want it. If somebody is capable of being helped, they have to want
I think there's 3 components to the way they behave. One is they want to believe this because of the back to the special thing. Secondly, they're too stupid to distinguish between what's a fact and what is not.
Not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily. Let me do my third component first, and then there's this element of dishonesty thrown in. So I think with that combination of 3 things, then you end up with this sort of horrible mixture of them then believing these stupid things.
Yeah, I think 1 and 3 are spot on. 2, it depends.
I think 2 and 3 actually kind of exclude one another in some cases. For example, they are the narcissistic people who either are there because they're narcissists or because they want to earn money. And those are actually the people that are less retarded than the real idiots.
But Gio, if they want to learn money, all one of them has to do is, like, for example, especially like if it was Nathan Oakley or one of those guys, say, man, you know what? I've really looked into this. I've talked to all these guys, and I realized I was wrong. And then he turns around and starts making debunk videos. He would be the most famous flat earther on YouTube if they really wanted to make money. Or they just that dumb.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because
I think so.
There are various examples.
How many ex-flat earthers do you guys know?
I will refer you all to Tiger Dan.
Yes, that was what I was about to say. He was disappointed by the community.
Tiger Dan was run off of YouTube because he started to try to debunk flat earthers after being a flat earther for 2 years for himself.
He just didn't do it right. He didn't do it right.
There's another one. There's a guy called Cat Earth, I think, who appears on Nathan's channel now, who was a flat earther and who's now become one and become a glober. So it does happen. I mean, you got the same example with was it Wayne Fillmore, who was a young Earth creationist, and you managed to twist him back, bring him on.
Yeah, but he wanted to learn, and he wasn't dishonest. He didn't meet the criteria that Rumpus pointed out. That's why
it requires a desire. That was my point to Curve too. Like I brought up the example where I tried to get somebody who was dyslexic I tried to teach them to read, and they weren't ready to learn. They did not want my help, and it created this huge rift in my friendship with that person. So
yeah, it comes back to if they want to believe. As I said, the first component is they want to believe it, and then the other things, and then the other things come up with the 2. I believe then gives you that horrible mixture. If you want to believe something, but if you want to believe something, you find this irrefutable. You're intelligent enough to work out this irrefutable. Well, obviously, there's a dishonest type that Joannism or something that Gio was talking about. But if you're not clever enough to work out, for instance, in this example here, without me, G and I and other people correcting Ranty now, he'd be going away thinking, "Oh, that's all fine." but because he was corrected, if it had some self-critical abilities, he wouldn't have done this. But because he wanted to believe it, it compromised whatever critical abilities he does have.
Hey, what do you guys think of Orphaned Red, by the way? Is she a Poe?
She's a Poe.
No
I think
idea.
she's a Poe. I've been saying she's a Poe, and in fact, because I made one debunk video on Flat Earth, and it was toward her, and just the response that she gave to me, and we were talking, I was like, "You don't believe any of this shit, do you? I wasted my time with this." That was the impression I got.
Yeah, she's a Poe.
Okay.
Really?
Because I wasn't sure. I haven't made one since, but that's the total impression I got, that she was pure Poe.
She falls under the narcissistic category because she definitely wants the attention. I mean, when she first started making her videos, she showed as much cleavage as she possibly could without showing actual nipple.
Oh, regarding that narcissistic thing, I have to show you something. I think I've already showed it to some people of you, but the audience probably hasn't seen it yet. So this was a comment under Nathan's video that I made yesterday. Do you see it?
Yep.
So yeah, yesterday I was announcing that we would have this debunking out today, and Nathan responded pretty quickly actually about where the towers and the wind turbines are, and he said, yeah, they would be far away. And I said, yeah, I would address pretty much everything. And I invited him and Ranty to join, and he answered in the following way, quote, "I have my own far more popular show that runs daily. How many times do I have to tell you? All are welcome. But thank you for watching, commenting, and participating in this far more popular show."
You've got 160
no,
people.
wait, Steve. It's getting better, because the next thing he did, if you would like to offer your support to this channel, there's a link in the info box, and that link was to PayPal. So first of all, yeah, what the fuck?
Wanted you the audacity, man. The audacity.
Oh, damn.
Didn't we do these numbers the other day on my channel?
Yes, we did it 2 or 3 times at this point now, yeah.
That's hilarious.
So,
You're not the only one that's done it either, Sly.
Yeah, Nathan, your channel is shit. You don't get views that are equal to your subscriber count. So claiming that your subscriber count is somehow in some way better than Geo's channel and Geo's material and the views that Geo gets, you're wrong. Simple addition and division. That's all it is.
And how they
do
know
it
how
on,
many
do it on your show.
When it comes to flat earthers or people that, you know, put out this really bizarre content, how do they know most of those subs are not hate subs?
Well, shit.
I'm pretty sure.
I can honestly say on mine that at least 1/3 of my subs, okay, I have 1,700 subs, which is by comparison not a lot. But I can say that at least 1/3 of my subs are flat earthers.
Really?
And
I've actually got about the same.
Wow.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me just. I was just looking at this the other day. I peek my head into the subscriber list every now and then. Let's see. I'm going to sort my list by most popular. And in the tops here, I have Flat Earth Addict. Let's see. Oh wow, Steve, you're almost as many as Flat Earth Addict.
I'm one of your top subscribers. Awesome.
You know, I mean, I got all these flat earthers in you know with the higher counts in my subscriber feed, and plus all the no name ones. You know, the little one name or the commenters and trolls and shit like that. I mean, I make no illusions. I make no illusions that a good 1/3 of my subscribers are flat earthers.
You know, I actually have a challenge of my own that I'd like to throw out to all the globe earthers for one day and one day only to not watch Nathan's show.
Sunday.
And it's not even about subs. I mean, look at like Reds is really one of the most criminally undersub channels out there. We all know that. He's like what, 11,000 subs, I think this is said, which is woefully undersub. But he also has a video out that has 1 million freaking views because it's an amazing freaking video, right? I mean, I don't see Nathan Oakley doing anything of that caliber to get a freaking 1 million views on a video.
Nope.
As a matter of fact,
it's just I seen in the comments that Nathan's show is watched 90% by globe earthers in the chat. I would like to see what his numbers look like if not a single globe earther went to his show for one day.
Well, I actually wouldn't be surprised if most of, or at least a big part of these people actually are overlapping with my audience. So to the audience, don't watch Nathan's hangout tomorrow.
I mean, I know I have
just-
flat earthers that do watch, subscribe to my channel and watch it and stuff like that, but it's only the visceral flat earthers that leave the comments that I don't even know who the hell they are, right? It's the drive-by ones. I don't bother with those.
I'd be interested to find out how many of his subs are linked to accounts that are based out of Dubai, India.
Probably not many. He can't afford them. His super chat kind of dried up.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think that's what's pissing them off? Is the fact that you guys are exposing them so much that people are just not bothering with them and not?
Well, come on. Some of the stuff.
The money trail has got to been dried up by now or drying up.
Well, check it out like this, Steve. They just put together this FE core bullshit, which is nothing more than an attempt at tax evasion. And but I mean,
newsflash on that, Sly.
What's that?
They did get their tax exempt status under religious grounds.
Oh my god!
Oh, nice.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
They were not able to get the 501c3, so they ended up getting 501. It's another thing, but it's strictly for religious beliefs.
Oh my god!
But that's an American thing, isn't it? Surely they're not American, are they?
Yeah, they
actually, yeah, they are.
Oh yeah.
The church that they're saying that they're based in is here in Indiana, of all places.
Oh,
Right.
jeez. So that sounds like a Skiba thing. Skiba's Indiana, isn't it?
Actually, Sean, if you have the possibility, why don't you just drive over there to check out what it is?
I walk 3 miles to work every day. I'm not driving anywhere.
Who the fuck is their holy man? That's what I want to know.
Let's see if I can find it.
How many bullshit?
Eric DePay,
man.
Dubai, whatever his name is.
Dr. Zach, isn't it?
Is Jeranism in this FE core thing?
Yes, he's one of the he's one of the chairmen.
So Sean, remind me what Jeranism said about the Bible.
Jesus can suck my fucking dick.
Well, no, if you're gonna quote him right.
Oh.
The Bible is bullshit. Jesus Christ can suck my dick.
I think it was the other way around, wasn't it? Jesus Christ can suck my dick. The Bible is bullshit. Whatever.
Jeranism has lost the right to have hangouts or something. It's like you did some hangout. I was meaning to watch your analysis of what some reason he got a strike, and
it was just my opinion on the matter. But the truth of the matter is that he basically lied. He lied in his comments about it.
Here is where their official base is. It's called North Liberty Mennonite Church.
Mennonite, really?
101 West Maple, North Liberty, Indiana, 46554.
Wait. 101 what?
101 West Maple, North Liberty, Indiana, 46554.
Theo's on the case.
Where is that located on the flat Earth coordinate system?
Let's see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
So that's 101 West. What the heck?
That's probably that building on that bit larger building with the little parking lot.
Yes,
that's
it
over
is.
here.
Oh no, that ain't it. That's not a church.
No, that ain't it.
No,
Go to Street View. Go to Street View.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys imagine this technology 30 years ago?
Yeah,
I mean,
this is amazing. When I first saw this street view thing, I could not believe.
How do these people think the Earth is flat when we could do this? I mean, for God's sake!
What
I could not believe when I saw.
I'm not seeing a church. So did they lie?
Is the address correct, or did I make a typo or something? West Maple, North Liberty, Indiana.
It's 101 West Maple Avenue, North Liberty, Indiana, 46554.
There you go. Right there, the first one below it. Yep, that's it.
That's it.
So they all sit on those rocks then.
No, it's probably a church that's located inside a house. There are things that people do that.
Yeah, that building seems like it's like a kind of a multi-complex.
Hashtag America.
Turn back around the other way to the big building.
So did they lie about their address? I'm sure the IRS would love that.
No, it's like I said. It's probably one of those houses there. I mean, it's not an actual church. That's not it.
That's not it. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
It's that water tower. That's the church.
The water tower is the church.
Yeah,
So they
What about that one with the
that water
garage
tower
to
is
the right?
exactly like a flat earther skull.
Yeah, right.
Hold on. Go back
You're
to
full of-
your overhead because I don't think your map is in the right spot, actually.
I think it's that dude in that truck, man.
No, go back to the overhead view so I can actually look at the map. Align it north. Zoom out.
West Maple, so that means it's the left to right.
Right.
Oh,
So I think
no,
it's
no.
the garage next to it.
See, this is saying South Maple. What the hell?
What?
Well, when I just did a Google search on the address, it gave West Maple, but when I actually go to the North Liberty Mennonite Church, it says South Maple.
Okay, well, typo. South Maple. Go to South Maple, Gio.
And that's saying it's
If it's a Mennonite church, it should actually be a real building. Then actually, it's a Mennonite church. I mean, I've seen churches in housing, but this should actually be a building.
Yeah, that looks more like a church.
There we go. Hallelujah.
So that is the official headquarters to fecorps.org.
Hey, zoom in on that sign, man.
Yeah, I was about to. So this is what?
This is just incredible. This Steve, I'm just going to re-emphasize when I first saw this, the ability to say you get some idea where someone is, you can go and look at that through their bloody window almost. I mean, it's just incredible.
Is somebody able to read this?
You need tooling.
Unique tooling.
Yeah.
Tooling. Tooling. I was about to read shooting.
That's
Unique
I don't
shooting.
What does that have to do with anything? I don't
That's
think
a tooling company.
Yeah,
It's a tooling company.
That's not a church.
Well,
So no more.
Wait a second. Why the fuck does it have a tower then?
Electrolysis. Look at
It
this
looks like a
electrolysis.
church, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It does look like a church.
Those windows
the
are church
left
windows. Come on, that is
Yeah,
a
the left
converted
is a
church.
church. The left
Unless
is a
that's-
church.
Is it maybe just one part of the building?
Yes.
Yeah, go to the
Unless
front
the
because that is definitely a church building.
Oh, go back a step. You had a sign.
Yeah.
Right there, that sign.
Go and read the sign. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
Which sign?
You're gonna have to go a little bit in front
It's
of
on
the
the
building.
corner.
That one. Yeah, there we go.
Oh no,
Unique tooling. It's a converted church, but it's definitely a church. I mean, it's not a church.
It used to be a church.
What
Yeah,
the
used to.
fuck is this?
What's that? Is that a church?
Like,
fraud.
wait. You guys actually convert churches to any other function?
Yeah.
Here, like, we have churches that are literally 1,000 years old, and what the heck are you supposed to do with
in
buildings
this
that is
part of
1,000 years
in
old?
this part of our country, every building is a church.
And so,
You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I have been to the Bible Belt numerous times. It is unreal how many churches there are. There are more churches.
this is Indiana. This is not the Bible Belt. Steve.
What's that?
This is Indiana. This is not the Bible Belt.
Well, okay. Well, Indiana's still
Are
pretty.
we
It's not in the Bible
actually?
Belt.
I have to find out where
But
they-
Indiana's
yeah.
still pretty
Because
religious place.
Really bad regarding U.S. states.
It is how far away from me? Actually, it's not that fucking far.
Because I have friends in Kentucky, and Kentucky is extremely.
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
pucker, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
the
and
pucker.
so Indiana's.
It's
just
a
north of that,
40-minute
so-
drive from me. It's literally on the other side of a city that I live in.
Hey, I wonder if the Church of FE Corps can see Chicago from there.
Oh God!
Just put a lookout tower on top of that water tower.
I could actually go and visit their pastor.
It's not a pastor; it's a tool shop, dude.
I might have to take a visit there and do an interview.
They took out all the pews and put in a lathe.
No, and they put their new pews in there.
I can't believe how ugly American towns are from above. That horrible grid system you've got. Yuck.
It is.
I mean, it's practical, isn't it?
Yeah. So
30
what? It's aesthetic.
31.8 miles from my house to the church.
How much is that in non-retarded units?
Now, if I go with Riley's measuring
kilometers?
distances, that's the straight line distance. If anybody knows the history of Riley, that's how I was actually introduced to Riley. He took the street distance and actually thought that was the straight line distance.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I remember that. Holy shit.
That was my first encounter with Riley. And he tried to say that we were misrepresenting him, and then we'd actually play back his video where he says this is the straight line distance, and he was pointing from the starting location to the ending location, and he actually was using the road distance.
Oh, wait a second. We've got Ranty in the side chat. I haven't seen him. No. Let me quote him. Hi, Gio. Thanks for hanging on my coattail. However, at this point, in fact, all pointed out were conceded in the video from some 7 hours ago. Hardly live debunking. Well, I debunked your stuff live, but you conceded it first, so whatever.
Hey, where'd Ireland go?
and the Langhouse golf course and Langhouse
And
lighthouse.
Scotland, that
Yes,
lighthouse in
as
Scotland.
well. Yes.
So, Ranty, if you're still in the side chat, why don't you join? And I'm actually
And bring your crane with you.
If you would like to join, I'd actually kick all the rest of these people out. So we could
I'll
have
take
one of the-
I'll take out and I'll just listen. I'm cool with that.
I would actually have to drop out because he's still got me locked. So
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, if he wants to come in here, I'm more than happy to drop out and just chill and listen to you guys.
Right.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
would leave.
Somebody just suggested using Bing Maps for the.
Or we kick Chico out and I'll just sit here and talk to Ranty. I'm cool with that too. Okay. Hey, Gio, by the way, I gotta tell you, I've been impressed with your channel lately. You've definitely been upping your game, and your videos are just so good.
Thanks. So how do I?
You gotta teach me how to do Portal 2.
Well, thanks, Steve.
Otherwise, you guys already know you have good channels, but he's not. I mean, he's popular, but he's not as subscribed as you guys, and I think we need to get him there.
Well, thanks, Steve.
And you suck, Sly. I mean, every one of you guys should have well over 1,000 subs by now, easily.
Walcott North. I'm trying to find the position in Bing Maps.
Crap.
While he's looking for that, I gotta go, guys, because it's 11:30 here. And
I actually think I found the right building.
Hey, real quick before you go, did you watch the interview we had with Mad Mike Hughes, that rocket guy that's going to be launching himself tomorrow?
Is he doing that tomorrow?
He's doing that tomorrow.
Oh,
we actually had a nice conversation with the guy. The guy was really freaking nice.
Yeah. Is anybody
He's
gonna throw
gonna
him a
be dead
funeral?
tomorrow, but he's and
Yeah.
I miss him, but he's
Is
nice.
anybody gonna throw him a funeral? I mean, come on.
I'm gonna feel bad. I truly don't want to see the guy hurt, but I'm really concerned for him.
That's his valedictory interview he's given with you.
Yeah, it might be the last one he ever gives.
Steve
If you
just
haven't seen
wrote,
it, watch it.
Steve
you
just wrote
assisted.
his eulogy.
Yeah, right. You assisted in his martyrdom.
I didn't know him for very long, but he left such an impact in my life. I will forever miss him.
He's going to make a big impact somewhere, I think.
He made a bigger impact on the ground than he did in my life. Oh, that's just bad.
He's gonna bring Flat Earth home.
Hey, you know Amboy Crater? Now it has a twin.
He's going to flatten a bit of Earth, that's for sure.
Does anybody of you know how to use the Microsoft equivalent of Street View?
I don't think they have one, do they?
I think they have one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just don't know how to access it.
We certainly can't do it in German.
That other guy is going to be bringing Flat Earth to new heights.
Sly can't you?
Or new depths.
Or new depths, yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's so sad, man.
You know, I will be sure to make sure we
limitless number of puns for that guy, isn't there?
if he doesn't make it, I will make sure wherever he lands,
Yeah,
that area becomes a shrine.
You know what we need to do? We need to encourage all flat earthers to have the same level of commitment. The same level of commitment that this guy has.
That is commitment. I concur on that one. Hey, Nathan Oakley, I'll tell you what. Let's do a fundraiser to have you do a rocket launch. We'll send you up there, buddy.
To the chat, Bohol Rasmussen, I found the location. I just don't know how to access Street View. Like, this is the same church, but I don't know how to get into Street View.
Ja, schau mal auf die Luftbilder oben rechts.
Yeah, I already checked that.
Okay, nee, es gibt nur Luftbilder und Straße. Die haben kein Street View.
Yeah. They should. Wait, maybe the Windows internal app has one. So that's also based on Bing Maps, as far as I know. So
Don't
that
break
was, for fuck's sake, how's it called? Town. North Liberty.
Yeah, that's true. They do have that bird's eye view, which is kind of an angled view, but they don't. I don't recall Bing ever having a street view type thing. Registered trademark.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not called Street View.
Yeah.
It's called Street Side. There we go.
Oh, okay.
So how do I just zoom in there, maybe? No. There we go.
Click on the street.
Oh, that's a much prettier one.
Where's the sign that was there?
Sign is gone, yeah.
Do they have a November 2012? Is that sign? Is that picture?
Yeah.
Down in the bottom left. Okay.
There's a sign in front of the... Oh, I know what that's going to be. November 2012.
That's the real estate sign saying it was up for sale. That's what happened there.
Yeah,
that's how they got it.
Yeah, this could be older. This could be older than the one we... Just because we've seen it afterwards doesn't make it more recent. It could be the Google one is newer.
I was hoping for some Mitt Romney advertisement. November 2012.
Yeah,
Oh,
it could be.
damn. They wanted to get this picture in before the end of the world.
Can you guys decipher this?
Cool.
I think it's just a real estate for sale sign.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a real estate sign.
Okay.
Das ist normal.
And
Again,
that is how
hashtag America.
churches. That is how churches get repurposed, Gio.
Fuck's sake.
Actually, I wonder if it was a tool shed before and it got bought out by FE Core as a church.
Well, give my video some Street View on Shamadi Dadoman.
Yeah, it should show a date for the picture, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm having them do.
We go.
Usually does down in the center or something.
This one says 2018.
So that's like
It says, I thought it said 2015 right there.
2018.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Hold
you're
on.
right. Oh, this one, yeah. This is
Yeah,
2015.
that picture's 3 years old, so it might be their new church.
so. What about is the one in the maps on
The one in Bing was 2012 though.
Yeah.
What about the maps online, or is this?
No, it's usually the same service. Like
Okay.
only the program from which you access it is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That means Google paid more money.
Probably. I mean,
Or-
why should Microsoft invest in this anyways?
Or Microsoft is just buying the scraps. Because it looked like they had less coverage anyway.
Probably. I mean, in Germany, there's almost no Street View anyways for
Well,
legal reasons.
Here's some of the interesting. They actually have a Facebook page for the church. It has 0 posts. It has pretty much 0 information on it. And this is going directly to their Facebook page.
Look
They
up
don't have a website.
look up what's this place called? Maple whatever, or Liberty.
North Liberty Mennonite Church.
See if you can find a North Liberty history.
Mennonite
They do have-
Church. There we go.
We have a phone number that's an Indiana number.
Mennonite. What the hell's that?
Think Amish.
Right?
Nothing.
You could always talk to Paulo Gia too. He knows all about Mennonites.
He is the definitive expert in our community for Mennonites, all things Mennonite. Him and Weird Al Yankovic. He's not in our community, but maybe one of these days.
Oh no, look at these artifacts. It's obviously fake.
I told you, electrolysis, man.
Electrolysis.
Yeah, I mean, there are these weird power lines that are, for some reason, not subterranean.
That's that electric sky, man. Didn't you watch the Globebusters episode?
No. It's actually the Electric Avenue.
Hey, Gio, a post I made on Facebook in a group called the Official Flat Earth and Globe Discussion. They have like 100,000 members. Just got approved. So my post was sending any flat earther from that group over to here to come join you during your discussion here. So
That's cool.
So
And-
we'll see.
and
I said
yet-
if any. Well, quick. I said if any flat earthers are interested in joining this feed, let me know. Ranty, prior to this, changed his position, admitted he was wrong, so he bailed out. A live debunking of Ranty's offshore oil rig and met mass claims, Geostriber. So
Just to point out, Gio, that church is the correct address.
Okay.
I actually have the address grid listed up, and that is 101 South Maple Street.
Okay, so
bullshit. Oh man.
so I'm gonna actually mark this just in case we need it again.
In fact, I'll even share where I got that at.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit FE church. wait, bullshit church is a little bit
Easier.
exact enough.
I like that bullshit FE church. That says it all.
Fecal church.
Fecal
Is that-
church. There you go.
Is that their building? I mean, is that actually it, or is that what
That's
you think
it.
it is?
That's the one.
That big gray building on the corner is 101 South Maple Street, North
Okay.
Liberty, Indiana.
You could just call it the fecal church.
I have a better idea.
I actually have the address grid loaded up on my screen right now.
And if you pull out
There
from
we
this,
go.
you go all if you like zoom out, you eventually see a round Earth, right?
What is an address grid?
Fecor matter.
Or matter.
All of the addresses of every building on the street listed and where they're at.
Oh God.
I mean, if you go over my icon and click on it, so it'll actually show what I'm seeing on the
Oh.
screen.
I don't know, man. That
These are
building.
all the addresses on the roads.
So
Yeah,
can we settle on that name though?
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
Fecal
That's
matter, yeah.
beautiful.
Can I'd like to ask a question though. Do you zoom back in for a second, Gio? Just an opinion on square footage here. Do you think there's going to be enough room for Jeranism, Bob, and Morgile's egos in there?
Oh, dude,
No,
the city's
for that amount of hot air, you
They're not
actually need a
for that.
balloon. So this thing is 0.02 miles in diameter. Wait.
So, Gio, what is Nathan Oakley's average daily stream numbers then for his live counts?
His record is
110 to
128.
120.
His record is
Okay.
128.
And you don't stream that often, and you're getting 127 right now.
Yes, my last stream was approximately 1 month ago.
And the reason, and I have to say that I believe, unless I'm mistaken, the one that they had the high count on was the one that was on the day after I was on.
So what the hell is he talking about then?
He's
I
talking
think
out
the only metric that he's seeing is pure subscriber count, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's the guy is just an idiot on so many different levels. It's just he's gonna be begging you one day. Hey Gio, can I be on your channel? You're like, fuck, don't get out of here.
Yeah, Steve. I mean, you weren't familiar with him, but if you see, I did mean to before the hangout that we had. I was just trying to give you some of the examples of how he treats people who come on and disagree with him. He's really
and I'm glad you did.
obnoxious.
I will tell you, I'm glad you gave me a heads up on that, because once he started running his game, I was already aware of that was going to happen. And yeah, thank you for that. That did give me a little bit of a heads up on that. And I was not going to let him get away with it, because he did exactly what you said he was going to do. You called that one.
Oh shit, he did it to me too when I went on there.
Yeah, he's obnoxious to fly. Yeah.
So for those interested, the church has approximately an area of 423 square meters.
I don't know if that's enough room for all that ego, man.
No, remember
But
that big building we thought might have been in the church? That's not big enough.
The good
It's
thing is
not-
we can
it's not about
we can squeeze all the amount of flat Earth brain in there.
That's true.
Are we sure
It's
that's
not
the
about-
all one building? Because the difference in design of the windows and things suggested to me that it wasn't, although it is it just didn't seem to be the same building.
It's not about the
Rumpus, you're
size
thinking-
of the ego. It's
You're
not about,
you're thinking England, bro.
So yeah, I think I am. Yeah, it's just
It's
Right.
I'll tell you guys
hot air.
what.
It would
I'll tell you
ignite
guys
the
what,
building.
I'll save up some money to buy a cab to get a ride out there and home.
We've got a bicycle.
And I'm not riding a bike 31 miles. Fuck you.
That's
Wait. How flat is this?
But
And by flat, I mean the absence of hills.
I'll go talk to people who actually reside there and find out what all they know about FE Corps.
So in which direction are you? Don't tell me any address or anything. Just like south, north, wherever.
This is going to become the new Waco. You know that, right?
Do you guys know the movie Kingsman?
Oh, you're asking me where I'm at? I'm not going to tell you.
Kingsman, yeah, the one with Colin
Yeah,
Firth.
there was this church massacre in there.
Well, Kill Bill has got a church massacre, hasn't it? Yes.
I'm
Yeah,
seeing
that's
Randy's
technically
back,
true.
but I can't see him because he still has me blocked.
So whatever, I'm going for a random direction. Let's go for this one. What? 30 miles?
I'm 31 miles away.
You see, if you're into fitness, Sean, 30 mile cycle ride is just.
It's a good ride. Yeah, I would.
I don't run anymore. I stopped doing that 8 years ago.
Oh, come on.
He's a smoker. He's a smoker. Give him a
30
break.
miles is a
Oh, yeah,
long
you're a
ride on
smoker, aren't you?
bike.
Yeah.
I've done 15-mile rides, and I thought I was going to die, and then I had to go around, turn around, and go back. And I didn't realize I remember one time I was sick, and I made it like 15 miles. And
Okay.
Oh my God.
Sean, there's 15 meters of height difference on that line. Let me just show you my hometown.
Well, I'm just going to say that.
So in
I
other
can call
words,
you-
if
I
he's
can call
got it
you all
rolling,
fat, lazy
if we
people
got
because-
Sean rolling, he'd just be go there all the way without any effort at all.
Sean, look at this. So this is Nuremberg and my current hometown of Fürth. And this town over here is called Kadolsburg. It's where I grew up. And let's just start from like there and go all the way up here. Save
Nope,
the shit.
31 miles. 31 miles.
No, not 31. It's simply about the height profile. Look at this shit.
I'm just going to
6,400 meters. And that's on the distance of 3 or 4 kilometers.
Oh,
Yep.
see, I'm just gonna call you all old, lazy, and fat because every day I'm walking anywhere between 20 and 30 miles.
Show him Würzburg.
Hey, Sean, how dare you? I'm not old.
Show him Würzburg.
Well, if you can walk that way, you should be able to cycle.
Walking's better for you.
Those 50 meters are harmless.
I think Ranty wants to come in.
Ranty wants to come in.
Okay, I got to drop out because he can't join while I'm in here, so I'll just watch.
Yeah, he's got me blocked too, so I'm gonna have to do.
How does somebody with 230 subs have so many people blocked?
Wait, Ranty.
It's called being a bitch.
If you want to join, you will have to unblock them. That's my condition.
Well, I think a lot of people have to take off anyways.
I think Sly was trying to go anyway.
So, like I said,
is he even there? I can't even see him.
Yeah, he's in there.
In the side chat, yeah.
Okay, I don't see him. So
it's probably because you're blocked.
Yeah, he's got me blocked.
It's because you're blocked.
Yeah, because I don't have him blocked. But anyway, like I said, I said about a half an hour ago I need to go anyway. So
okay, so
thanks for showing up. Yeah, in answer to your question, Steve, how can somebody with 20 subscribers have so many people blocked? They call that being a bitch. So
I think Ranty actually has more. I think he's about 250 at this point.
Hey, Gio, don't forget to ask him about the crane, bro.
Well, this would simply be about what happened today.
Yeah. All right, I'm out.
That's fine. Thanks.
Catch y'all later. Ciao.
So I'll just send him an invite.
Yeah, I'll wait till he comes in. I'll drop out if you guys want to just have a one-on-one. That's cool. I don't know where he is. I mean, I know of him, but I don't. Have I talked to him before?
To Ranty, I don't know. No idea.
If you went into Nathan's, it's possible.
No, I don't go into Flat Earther Hangouts. I haven't for a very long time.
Even if you went in once, it's possible.
So Ranty is currently at 283 subscribers.
I might have seen him on Flat Earth discussions back in the day when they had all that going. But
no, he never turned up there.
Yeah, well,
all right, I've sent
probably
him.
No.
I'll just be AFK for a minute. I have to take a leak.
Hey, Ranty, have we ever met? I'm just kind of curious because I don't recognize his icon. I recognize the name.
It's Ranty Pling, Ranty exclamation mark.
That makes it even worse because I don't recognize that at all.
Oh yeah, the Aaron Ra thing, Steve. That was quite entertaining. I don't know if you saw my comment on that. I think
I did. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I gotta admit it. I hate to admit it, but as much as I love the Hovind Aaron Ra discussion, which has over 10,000 views already, yeah, it's huge. It's gonna be massive. But I actually like the after show better because of the fact that Aaron, myself, and other people could not stop laughing for about a half hour. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That was. It was. Did you watch that? Tell me that was not the funniest thing on YouTube.
It was good, but the thing was, it was frustrating from my point of view. You know how I love diagrams. You could have saved about 60 minutes or 90 minutes of that hangout. But if Aaron Ra showed a cladogram and then said, "Go on then, Kent, show me where a kind is on this diagram."
Yeah,
I don't know, and that would have taken. That's about the same time. That would have covered.
He doesn't know what a clade is.
I know that's the point. Yes. So, but you don't need to call it a clade. You can just say, okay, here's this tree.
Call it a group. I don't care. Call it a monophyletic group. Whatever the hell you want to call it.
But Aaron Ra needed a diagram showing the tree of life and then saying, okay, at what point here have we got what he called a crown at one point of an ancestry or a phylogenetic group that did not have an ancestor.
Right.
And just with that and a diagram, you could have saved about 90 minutes of trying to explain to Kent what this was, because he clearly, as you say, he didn't know what a clade was. He had to look it up 2 days previously.
But Rumpus, you're missing the point. Aaron Ra didn't give a crap how much time he took. He really
enjoyed that whole thing. He was so I gotta tell you, he was so pleasantly surprised how well that discussion went. He loved it. Chris in the live chat points out he loved it when Aaron said, "You've been wrong your entire life." Aaron got what he wanted. Aaron got his chance to talk to him and show just how little Owen knew, and I think that was what he wanted. And there's going to be a part 2 on that. But I still got to tell you, G-Man's cat beat the shit out of that entire discussion.
Steve,
that cat alone was still funnier than anything.
That was icing on his cake too, because he was
Steve, there's somebody in the side chat called Requiem for a Dream, and he's asking whether it's possible that you could unblock him.
I don't have any. Me?
Yeah. Apparently you blocked him in one of your He's called Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream. I don't recognize that name.
Let
He
me.
says that you blocked him, and apparently he wanted to try to chat in your side chat in your Hangouts, but he can't because apparently.
Oh, are you saying somebody blocked him for chatting?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll look at that.
On your YouTube channel, Steve.
Yeah, sure.
There's the spelling to be
So,
specific.
Yeah, I got it.
So Ranty, I've sent you an invite. You can join if you want. Just if you want to join now, or if you don't want to join, just type it in the chat so I know what's happening.
And Rumpus, we have some bigger names coming on too in the next month or two. So.
Who?
Got a lot. I can't tell you yet. It's a surprise.
Fucking cliffhangers.
Bigger than Arn.
Bigger than Arn. Oh. Is he a Brit?
I'm not going to say anything.
Oh, I have a suspicion, but I'm not telling you.
I'll tell you guys off air because I love you guys.
Can I wait? I just posted in the internal chat of the Hangout. Okay.
Sure.
The group chat. Yeah, I just think that Aaron
possibly
a lot more
that's what I was thinking of. But we are working on that. We got a maybe on that one.
Holy shit, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Just the thing is, if Aaron had been armed with a couple of diagrams, you could have gone a lot further. Instead of trying to stumble over explaining what a clade is and a kind.
You love your diagrams.
You could have made a much more progress and therefore pulled them apart that much more. Unfortunately, he was able to just sort of, this is the thing with idiots, is they use their stupidity as a shield because you can't reason with them, and it's only by making something so obvious that they can't resist the force of argument. But if they get an opportunity to resist it by being stupid, they will. It's their ultimate defense.
Yeah, he's seen cladograms before. He knows the ways to weasel out. And by the way, David, that's a maybe too on that one, actually. But that's not who I'm only going by who I'm confirmed with. So, but that person that you'd mentioned, they're up there on that level. But anyways, so we could have done diagrams and stuff, but I don't think that was Arn's thing. I think that they wanted us to have a free-flowing discussion. That's all.
You can do that with a diagram. Just say, look, here's a diagram, here's a cladogram. Show me on here where the kinds come in, please.
Not that big, David.
And then that would have been that would have
close.
It would have, I think, help move things along instead of being frustrated by just trying to make progress. Instead of him not understanding what it was and Aaron having to explain it again, and then what was it? Eventually, Aaron Rod developed the term. He started calling about a crown of a clade, without. Then he described it without an ancestor. And then
I think the way that Aaron defined a kind was a clade that begins with a divine intervention.
Yeah, you've seen the phylogenetic challenge, right? The phylogeny challenge, right?
I haven't actually, but I gathered what it was.
Basically, in a nutshell, the phylogeny challenge basically to come up with two kinds that were the original kinds that from all other species come from. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny because I didn't get into this, but I really wish I could have. But Hovind likes to bring up like 200 squirrels, right?
Yes.
The squirrel kind.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to ask him something like, well, okay, what about a marmot? Is that a marmot kind? A chipmunk? Is that a chipmunk kind? And he's going to be like, yeah, chipmunks are a kind. Okay, but chipmunks are a type of squirrel.
Yes, exactly. But this is why diagram, you see, you could say, hold on, you can't have that as a kind because it was descended from this other kind, so therefore it's not a kind. But you could do that with a diagram, Steve. You couldn't do it verbally very easily.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
But that diagram is the diagram of phylogeny that Aaron Ra is making.
Yeah, but you can do a simplified one. I mean, there are some online versions of it. There's a fantastic one of whole of the animal.
Yeah.
So you could have just a simplified one would do. Just covering marmosets and chipmunks would do. Just to say, okay, so there's the diagram. So there's the ancestor. Now, does this creature at the top of the clade, does that have an ancestor? If not, then that becomes a kind. But as he was saying there, that if it's if chipmunks and squirrels have a common ancestor, then it's not a kind, presumably.
All he needed was one with elephants and pine trees.
I'm honestly not seeing Requiem for a Dream in here.
Steve, I'm actually not very sophisticated when it comes to the Bible. Do you know a passage where it actually defines kind? Because I would like to see this in the German version, just to see how it's translated.
No, I have no idea what it. I still don't understand what the hell kind is.
Yeah,
it's a meaningless word.
I know it's a meaningless word, but I'm curious about the translation into German.
Oh no, the original word actually wasn't kind. It was genos, meaning genus. It actually meant descendant or family.
Oh,
That was if
fuck.
you look in the original Hebrew or the original Greek, genus was the word used, not kind.
Okay.
But of course, that doesn't fit Hoven's narrative. Yeah, I'm sorry there, Requiem for a Dream, but I'm not seeing you in my hidden users.
That's on your personal channel?
On my personal channel, yeah.
Let me check. Maybe it's spilling over from.
Oh wait, I did see him. I found him. Yep, I got him. Okay, you're good to go.
Okay.
You've been taken off the naughty list.
The naughty list.
If somebody asked me nicely to be taken off that, I'm more than happy to do it. I like giving people more than one chance. I usually clear my entire block list every year, but unfortunately this year I couldn't because there's just so many trolls.
Well,
So,
I've been meaning
I don't know if you have seen this, but Ranty actually invited me to join one of his hangouts on his channel. And I'm definitely going to do that, but not today anymore for obvious reasons. I mean, it's past actually, it's exactly midnight over here. But yeah, I'd obviously do this. We could talk about Flat Earth, or what I would really like to talk about is chemtrails.
I would love to do as well. I want to be in on that, or at least fly on the wall. And somebody just mentioned natural. I'm behind on my chat. Just catching up. But somebody said natural news on YouTube is no longer a channel. Is that true?
Oh my God, Tommy Hall will be lost.
Oh yeah, that's where he gets 90% of his information from.
I hope that fucker gets lost too.
I've still yet to see this thing he did with Mel, scientist Mel. Where
Don't. I will go on record to say that I've never seen so much disgusting, vile bullshit from people on somebody who's so nice and so intelligent and so accomplished.
Really? It was that bad,
dude, it was sexist, misogynistic, piggish. It was everything you. And I'm not even a social justice warrior, right?
Not
I mean,
me,
I'm not even a feminist. So you know how much it must take to piss me off?
Yes, quite.
Yeah, it was way over the line.
I wanted to reach through my monitor and strangle that fucker.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy's going to move past this. It was, I mean, you got G-Man in the kitchen, going, well, yeah, she shouldn't be a scientist. She should be making sandwiches in the kitchen or some bullshit.
Did she? Yeah. Did he say that?
G-Man.
Oh, G-Man. It was vile. The whole thing was vile, and the fact that it just kept going after Mel and
true empiricism and that whole group is has basically shown their true colors when it comes to her.
Simply disgusting, Rumpus. I'm just telling you right now. If you do look into it, be prepared because it is bad.
I think Reds didn't he have something to say when he met G-Man in New York along with J.D. Kane and Fiona and things, and they got much the same feeling about G-Man's attitude.
This was purely sexist, misogynistic shit, though. I mean, to an extreme.
But G-Man was doing something similar about Hana, as far as my understanding.
Yes, that's the feeling standing on.
Wow.
As well.
Yeah, I remember a little about that. Yeah. But anyways, like I said, Mel is accomplished. She's intelligent. She needs to be respected. And for these 3-4 people sitting in a room called the cringe something or other.
Oh, it's that. Oh, that I was about to go watch that. That was right. They talk about that, do they? Right. Okay.
Yeah. And they've talked about
that whole thing. Listen to that whole thing, and then go watch a couple of Scientist Mel's videos. It's horrible. It's absolutely wild. Disgusting.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm on record to denounce all 4 of them for that kind of shit.
They are not nice people, are they? Really? God.
No, they're really not.
Bloody Christian. They don't have a Christian attitude. That's for sure.
I mean, G-Man sit there and alienated Veckel of all people,
his biggest ally.
Biggest ally.
And yet, like the other day when David here hosted the after show, and again I can't thank him enough, and I'm glad that he did. I think he's glad that he did because his hosting of it is going to live in infamy, in a good way. But when I invited G-Man to come in, it was simply, dude, come in and chill with us. We're all hanging out. We had a great show. We just want to be hanging out with Arn because Arn was all amped up. He was really enjoying it, and he's like, dude, I'm down for an after show. Let's do it. I
saw a bit of that. Yes, I saw there's about an hour in or something he turned up, didn't he? And then gave out.
Yeah, I invited, but it was just to hang out, and he doesn't know how to have just the ability to communicate in a large group. As Hogtie said, he doesn't do well in large groups, and he feels the need to be on 24/7.
Yeah,
and it was unfortunate.
Hey, Steve, Paul Voigt just sent me the Bible verses for where kind is defined, or the positions in the Bible where. This is
Yeah,
mentioned.
it's not defined though. It's never really defined.
No. I mean, in which context they're talking about it. And the German translation is actually hilarious as hell because they're using the German word for species.
Right. Well, and also again, the original word genus could be interpreted as species as well.
Yeah.
It basically meant that dogs make dogs, which is
Yeah.
something we all know anyways. So
God, that's a real insight into reality, isn't it? The things will bring forth things of their own kind or whatever. Brilliant. So yes, that really. I mean, how long would it? Do you think a child would be able to work that out? I mean, if a child,
yeah, well, that's why Hovind says a 5-year-old can understand it. I agree, but nobody besides a 5-year-old would think that that's wrong. Besides,
right.
It's worth mentioning.
Right.
Yes.
Pine trees make pine trees, and elephants make elephants, Kent.
Now that's going to be a cool experiment. We're going to do that. We're going to mate a pine tree with an elephant and see what happens. We'll probably get a flat earther, but
we have got
elephant. I hope they remove the bark first.
Like we've got DNA from fish, of course, being incorporated into what was it? They were some sort of what was it? They were moving fish DNA into? Was it a plant or something? I think I can't remember.
I don't know. They're splicing all kinds of stuff.
Yes, yeah, that's right. They're splicing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so it's it's not. It's not getting.
But he wanted to see that if you could mate an elephant in a pine tree. And
well, he knows. He knows you
can't.
can't. I mean, that's obviously just a debating ploy. He's trying to make the other, obviously, Armar look ridiculous by implying that they're related to the point where they could do that.
That was the point, Rumpus. This is what I liked about this discussion. Hovind's trick is to try to make the other person look foolish. It backfired on him brilliantly this time. I mean, Arn was not going to play that game, and Arn did his damnedest to make Hovind look foolish, and he succeeded. And so that's why I think that's going to be one of the greatest discussions on YouTube.
Yeah, and the thing, and the problem was though that Kent saying was how are they related? So he kept on repeating how are pine trees and elephants related. But if you could have shown the cladogram of it, you could say, look, here we are. Here's a pine tree over there. Here's the elephant over there, and the fact they meet in some distant ancestor, that's how they're related. And so it would have denied Kent the continuous opportunity to keep on asking how they're related, and therefore how do you know they're related, and therefore if they're related, they could then have a progeny, and you could just say this is how they're related. But that doesn't mean.
But it was simpler than that, though. It was simpler than that, Rumpus. The question he asked was, "They're both eukaryotes, right?"
Yes,
that's as far back as you need to go.
Yeah, both the same kind of they're
both eukaryotes.
Both eukaryote, yeah.
At one point, eukaryotes won't.
But that didn't seem to make the impact on Ken. Whereas if you could sort of draw a diagram where the eukaryotes are at the top of this particular tree, and you say, there's the eukaryote, there's the common ancestor just being a eukaryote, and then you could go down here, we go down to pine trees, and over here we go down to elephants. Therefore, he couldn't then keep on repeating. He mentioned the eukaryote thing once would have made the required impact, whereas by not having that diagram there, he was able to sort of, whether willfully or not, misunderstand what was going on.
Did Hovind actually explain then? So the way Hovind defines kinds is organisms that can bring forth offspring. Then how does he reckon the fact that there are different species of, for example, squirrels that are not interbreedable?
Because I think he accepts there are speciation events. I think he accepts that from the original created kinds. And I had brought this up because I do think it's important. I do kind of deviate from Aaron on this. I understand it has nothing to do with the phylogeny challenge, but it is important to discuss the fact that if you look at the speciation rates for these species from created kinds, you're going to end up having the most ridiculous types of speciation rates in the world. Yeah. I mean, we're talking for mammals alone, you're going to have have 7, 8, 10 different speciation rates a generation. How does that work?
Well, I'm not talking about the speciation rates. I'm talking about a problem with this definition. I'm talking about a problem with this definition, because if he's saying a kind is a group of organisms that can interbreed, then every species is per definition an own kind.
Yeah, every species would be under its own kind. That's what the point of the point of the phylogeny challenge. Yeah. How many original kinds are there? And how did we get the 8.7 million extant species we have today from that? And what are the original kind? That's what the challenge is. He's never mentioned what the original kind is. I mean, Rumpus, have you ever heard Hovind or anybody else give you the original kind of anything? Pick one.
No, that's right.
Any type of animal, just give me a kind.
He was ambiguous, because he did say at one point there were 7,000 kinds. But he never actually said
17, was it 7,000 or was it 7,000?
I think he said 7,000 at one
It's
point.
weird because Answers the Generous says 1,700, but whatever.
Okay, I thought he said 7,000
I think he did too, but I think there's a disconnect there.
Yeah, but
Answers the Generous is head, right?
Bigger to it, but he doesn't want to say what those kinds are.
Right, because if he says there's a squirrel kind, then how do you get chipmunks?
Exactly. And this is why a diagram with a squirrel and a chipmunk in it, saying, okay, which point has this become a kind then? Is this an ancestor to this one? And so,
I could tell you exactly at what point eukaryotes became animals and plants. There was a eukaryote that got symbiotic with mitochondria, and that became animals in the future. And then there was the one that became symbiotic with cyanobacteria, and those were plants.
And you can see the divergence in that time period. But
Right.
see, Kent thinks that a plant. Okay, Kent thinks the way G-Man does, because I've realized this the other night when I was listening to G-Man. He thinks common ancestry means that I have to be descended from something, rather than being related tangentially, like through cousins. Okay, so if for example, I and the Rumpus share common ancestry. I'm sure you go back somewhere in Europe, you're going to find somebody that's related to both of us, right? Yeah. That's common ancestry. It doesn't mean that I evolved from the Rumpus or vice versa or anything like that.
This is why a tree, you see, this is where a tree, Steve, you could say, here's the tree, like cousins or something, and here you are over here and over here. And yes, and the G-Man's got exactly the same problem, because of course he doesn't understand dogs turning into non-dogs and things. So if you drew the diagram and said, look, here you are, here's me over there and you over there, and now if we expand that out, take that as an analogy, synonymous with what's happening in the wider world, wider animal kingdom, and there we have elephants and pine trees. And I'm sure a diagram like that, because these people are stupid, they need a visual help. You could say, there you go, and that would clear up so much of what spends time on just trying to get through a concept to people like G-Man and
they took G-Man to a museum.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean to say he saw the right diagram, does it? You've got to.
I love the diagrams like you, but I don't think diagrams are going to be the magical bullet you think. I
think it will have a big impact. I've been surprised. Well, how with stupid people, if you could just get them in front of a diagram and then say, look, here's this thing over here, and there's that thing over there. Look,
I tell you what. If I could arrange something like this, how about we get Rumpus and like the G-Man or Rumpus or whoever, we'll get them in the same room together. Nobody else, just them two.
Okay,
I'll have to host it, but I won't say a freaking word. I will.
I'll do that because I'm.
And you take any diagram you want, and I swear to God, if by the end of that hangout, if you're not piss ass drunk, banging your head against the wall, contemplating suicide, I will suck your dick, man.
Steve, I do not deny that will happen. But the point is, I believe I will have moved on. Because with flat earthers, I found this as well. If you really impact them in a way that they can understand, although they'll carry on being flat earthers, they'll move the argument onto something else. I'm not claiming it'll change G-Man or Kent Hovind's mind, but what you will do is you'll move the argument on. And it's possible with the kinds thing with Kent. It might be so fundamental to his beliefs that might be very difficult. But
people want to see this happen, Rumpus. People want to see this happen. They were like, oh yeah, man, Steve's going to go down on Rumpus here.
I think a number of times this is the same problem I have with true empiricism. When bloody Hogtie was dealing with the DNA degrading in water, again I was shouting at him, get a goddamn diagram on the goddamn screen and point at the molecule and say which bond is it you're saying is breaking. But they never got round to doing that, so that and that would have been impossible then for true empiricism. So there's so many examples of where if you can point at something and say, right there, that's what you're saying is happening or not happening, and all these relationship between these 2 points on the diagram, tell me what's going on. And then they're faced. And I've seen it happen, I say, with flat earthers, where I've been able to shift their position. They've not used the same argument again because of something really graphic and impactful. So I'm not going to fix them. I've no doubt I would then move on to something else, which I didn't have a diagram for, that would really get me and really know the G-Man or Kent.
Well, you know what? I'm not trying to discourage you. I say more power to you, brother.
They did it with amygdalin. They sure pulled out the formula for amygdalin and say, here's some cyanide.
I didn't watch I know Doc did something on that. I didn't watch that with you, and I probably should. But from what I understand, amygdalin will produce hydrogen cyanide as a byproduct. But B17, which is not a vitamin, doesn't have cyanide in it. It's just a byproduct of the amygdalin.
It does. It has a nitrogen.
It has a triple bonded carbon nitrogen.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's what That's what a nitrile group is. You realize that you currently have a chemist in.
Yeah, I know you're a chemist. So let me ask you, Joe. So amygdalin itself, but it doesn't have free hydrogen cyanide, right? I mean, it has to be broken
close enough.
Yes, it has to be broken loose, but that's actually
that's my point. But isn't that what I said though? It's a amygdalin has to be broken down for that group to be released.
Your stomach acid would do it, Steve.
Yep.
Right. No, I get that. I'm understanding that, but I'm saying that
amygdalin stuff. Sorry, what are we talking
about?
Laetrile. So it's a quackery medicine.
A quack medicine.
It was big in the 70s back in the United States as a supposed cure for breast cancer, and a lot of women died for two reasons. One, they died because a lot of them did try to take excessive amounts of Laetrile, and it gave them poisoning. It was toxic. And the other ones died because they didn't get the help they need by the chemotherapy or radiological therapy or whatever. And so they would go into this alternate, cures, and they end up dying for it. So yeah,
take a look at my screen. That is amygdalin.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Okay, so you've got two sugars. So these are typical sugar structures. And you got this unit over here, and here you have this nitrile.
It's the triple bond to the nitrogen, yeah.
Yes. And if you know how hydrogen cyanide looks, cyanide ions are CN minus.
Right, so, but but Dave, you guys are still disagreeing with me. But my whole point was being it is locked on to the amygdalin. Amygdalin in itself is not hydrogen cyanide. Amygdalin breakdowns, and the breakdown products will produce the hydrogen cyanide. How is that wrong?
It is not wrong. But if you know how this is broken down, like how does it react with acids like stomach acid, or how does it react in the actual basic environment in the intestines, you can see that hydrogen cyanide is liberated from the molecule.
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely, and that it's not good for you.
No, that's gonna kill you if you eat too much of it.
Yeah.
And that other stuff just basically turns into stuff that comes out in your pee. It's glucose rings, basically.
Yeah, I mean glucose. You wouldn't pee it out. You would actually be able to digest that.
Yeah, when you digest.
Doesn't glucose? Yeah, it doesn't get. Glucose is stored and broken down.
Obviously, pretty much. Obviously, it has to be broken down to get ATP out of it. Why the fuck isn't micro here?
Glycolysis.
Yes.
Glycolysis. But the point is that whole thing.
I remember my high school basic chemistry bio shit too a little bit. Not much.
The point is that whole molecule is not stable. It's just so easy to break apart. It's not funny that it's hanging out like a sore thumb.
Dave, answer me this. G-Man is so talking about how water's poisonous now and all this other weird shit.
What? Wait. Do you mean the water itself or something that is solved in the water? Wait, they're not doing this. Fuck, how was it called? Jack the Ripper, Dr. Strangelove fluorination shit, aren't they?
It's not fluorination. No, he's going by dioxins and pops. And, he thinks that the water, because it has, there is a micro amount of some of these things in there. Let's be realistic. They test for this stuff, right?
Yeah, right. Obviously they have to. Like, for example, also EDTA. We had some quackery over here that thought that the amounts of EDTA that you find in the tap water are poisonous for whatever reason.
Well, if they were to the level where they're poisonous, they wouldn't let you drink it. I mean,
I mean, it depends. You can. If you have a really good ion chromatograph or a good mass spectrum, pretty much everything where you can detect ions in water that is solved. At some point, you're going to detect small amounts of pretty much anything. I mean, in tap water, you find uranium and lead. Because
there's always sort of small and minute things in everything. Yeah. But my point being is that he's willing to say to people that tap water is dangerous. And he's willing to say that B17 saves your life and cures cancer. And yet he has it completely back-asswards, right? I mean, I'm fine with tap water, but vitamin B17, which is not really a vitamin, obviously, because your body doesn't necessarily have to have it. As a matter of fact, it doesn't require it at all. You can live your whole life without amygdalin. Then he's actually promoting a poison to you. He's saying, eat this because it's going to be a toxin to you because it's a hydrogen cyanide that gets broken down. I don't see how he doesn't understand that. It's a huge double standard.
Yeah. I mean, there are 2 points. First of all, there's this entire thing that you are actually poisoning yourself. But in case of like cancer quackery, you're actually taking this stuff as a replacement for chemotherapy. So you're not doing
That's
the
the worst part,
chemotherapy.
right.
That does way
that's
more
the most
damage than
dangerous.
actually.
Yes.
Agreed. That does more
Yes.
damage than actually the probability of killing yourself with a cyanide.
Right, and that's what I was saying. In the 70s, people weren't getting the proper treatment because they were going to these Laetrile cures. So it wasn't directly the Laetrile that was killing them, although they did get sick. Some of them did get sick, and maybe a few of them probably did die. But the overall amount of people died because they weren't getting the proper cure or treatment.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with faith healers.
Yeah.
They're actually making people not go get their right treatment.
Yeah.
But anyways, gentlemen, I got to get going. I have other arrangements tonight, but I want to thank you, Gio, for letting me drop in here.
Sure, man.
Rumpus, good to see you. Keep up the good work.
Yep.
And
All right,
Wait, that DNA code. When are you doing the next? That is DNA code hangout.
oh, I know we got to do a part 2 on that. Mel didn't seem that interested, but I got a few other people. Like I know Dr. Herman Mays, he wants to do it. He could probably have a talk. Yeah, you know what? I'll arrange one-on-one with you because you think it is a code. He says it's not a code.
Yeah,
so that'd be a
okay.
good discussion, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
All
Are you
right,
gonna make
guys.
diagrams?
I think I'm
Yes, I
going to
will.
shut this hangout down anyways because it's 20 minutes after midnight my time.
Go to bed.
Yeah, it's a little bit overdue. Yeah.
What happened to Ranty?
I'll probably have a hangout with him on his channel in a few
Oh, I can
days.
see. Right.
There you go.
Well, wait, not necessarily in the few days. I have an exam coming up, but I think maybe at the end of this month we'll see.
Chris says homeopathic amygdalin, problem solved. There you go. Yeah, homeopathic amygdalin.
So that's sugar powder.
Yeah, it's just basically tap water.
On tap water, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching this hangout. It was a little longer than I expected, but whatever. So, bye.